Hi, welcome to IFB. Pete's not. Oh, wait, Pete is here today.
Yes, I am.
It's
Welcome
about
back,
time.
everybody. Welcome to the
Slough.
show. It's so cool to be here. We got a lot of our regulars are watching, and thanks for joining us live, everyone. This is our sci-fi pop culture streaming live show every Thursdays. Here with, of course, Tipsy Toaster, myself, New York Pete. We grew up in the 70s and 80s in that golden age of early, well, not
The
so
good
early,
stuff.
but the good stuff. Yeah, good stuff
Right.
for television and, comic books and movies and all the great stuff that, we happen to just be there. It was there for us. It was on regular television, and so that's what we bring to the show. We love sci-fi, happen to be big Battlestar Galactica 1978
Huge.
fans. That's what created this show, as you guys should know, and we love talking about it and bringing it up. And you'll see we got some cool things going on. I have some memorabilia and some magazines and things that I dug up out of my Battlestar box that I want to share with you guys. And we have great guests coming on,
Yes, we do.
and yeah, and we have a great lineup. I mean, we have Tiny Bean Tara and Bert-Oliver Bomer, award-winning sci-fi author, and then we're gonna have Admiral Bran Stimpson will be here to do the Star Trek, and then we have scheduled um, a really an actual New York Times bestseller, and Joe Harris, who's got a new series coming up, a new comic book series called Past Time. So he should be on later on the show as well. So before we go any further, let's actually do what we do here in terms of recognizing the community and the fans.
Yes, and you're doing tea again, I guess.
I'm doing, yes,
Earl
you know,
Grey?
Earl Grey,
Grey Earl?
hot.
Is it?
Yes.
Why did they call it Earl Grey and not Grey Earl?
Okay, so there, I
Earl
can
Grey,
prove
Grey
it.
Earl.
Earl Grey. There you
Okay.
go. Anyway, yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing limited edition
Yes.
Dunkin'
Cold.
Donuts cold brew porter.
Oh, oof. Good luck with that.
It is gonna
Ooh.
harpoon me, so I'll open that up now.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I wish Macaulay
Oh,
were here, Dr. Macaulay, but okay.
whew, that is strong smelling. See how dark it is. Come on, be
Let's
as
see.
dark as my soul. I have my blue
Try it out.
spider
Try it
glass.
out. Let's
Blue
go.
glass.
Come on. Try it out. Whoa. Try it out. Ay, ay, ay. That does not look. Ooh, I got the bad taste in the back of my throat with that. That's like, ay, ay, ay. You're gonna drink that?
The great thing is, it is a porter. So you notice it doesn't have that much
Ay,
fizz. That's a good thing for a porter.
yeah, I hope it's not expired.
Don't worry. Later on, too bad Chris McCauley isn't here to. Dr. McCauley isn't because you know I love the show Defiance,
Yeah.
and I actually found a Mount Defiance distillery.
Oh well. Heads up that Deg is with us, and so uh,
Defiance
Deg,
rocks.
yeah, we're
I have
cheering
not
to
have
you
a chance
too.
to go look at the radio thing. I got to get a chance to start rewatching the radio scenes. I got to remember what scenes those were in.
The radio, we're looking for it,
I
Deg. We're
got to
looking
find this
for it.
thing. So if anybody
Oh
wasn't there
boy.
last time, I still have it right here actually.
Chris Laskowski's watching with us, and Erica and Lola. Chris Marshall. Oh yeah. All right.
The
Stop
truth
bragging,
is
man.
all that matters.
Dag with us. Rick is with us. Fran. James McCoy says he's got a fuzzy navel. Excellent. Enjoy. Paul Rotter.
I
Commander
hope
Kane
that's
is
the
with
drink
us.
and not what he actually has.
Rob Baum is with us, our unofficial fact checker. Thank you. Tipsy's drinking leftover from Cylon oil change. Yeah, it does look like that,
Mm.
doesn't it?
Oh,
So,
So Deg was
super
here.
fan Fran.
I forgot.
Fran's
Deg.
with us.
Yep, Deg was here last time. I forgot the show.
Hey, Karen, how are you? Thanks for joining us live. We're about to
Yep,
toast.
I have another sign from Defiance. I forgot the show last time we were on.
Okay.
Ready?
What is it? Yeah. Come on. All right.
What's really cool is
You can wear it?
No, you get behind the scenes and it shows
No
the direction.
credit.
It shows the direction it's supposed to be hung and what it says in that
No
language.
credit. Excellent. Hey, Kim, what's
That's
up?
so cool.
I'm watching BSG TOS, so I haven't gotten to scrubbing the scene yet either. Deg's out there. All right, Deg, just take it one day at a time, man. One episode at a time. Mediocre modeler. All right, cool. What's up, buddy? How are you, man? Yeah, I'm back. Order return.
Deg, I'll let you know how good
Yes,
Mount
yes.
Defiance rum is.
All
Matter of
right.
fact, if we
Can
ever meet
just
up, I'll have
toast?
to get you some because this is local, I believe.
Deg says,
Yep,
nice sign you
Middleburg,
got."
Virginia.
All right.
So-
Well, okay.
So
All right,
Dunkin'
back
Donuts
on
tonight.
track.
So here we go. We lost track. We got a
Dunkin' Donuts.
cold
Go ahead,
brew.
come on. Yeah.
We're missing alcohol and caffeine at the same time. So who knows what could happen by the end of the night.
Oh boy, yeah. It's gonna be
But anyways,
lights
you are
out,
all
lights out.
amazing. You're all amazing. Thank you for coming.
That's
Thank you for
right.
being there. Thank you for being fans. Thank you for all the things that you do to become a fan, and you keep this world and this stuff alive. You watch the shows. Watch us, which is
That's right.
scary enough to begin with, but you do all of that cool stuff. People, the artists, the people who write fan fiction, all this stuff. You are so amazing. It's so cool to have you on the show, and it is so important that we recognize you because it is the fans that fuel the
That
fleet.
fuel the fleet. There you go. Here's to everybody. Thank you.
Mm.
And Harpoon. That's right. Chris Marshall.
Wow,
Oh
that's
boy.
smooth. Really, it's not that bad.
Okay. Oh,
It has
looks
definitely got a coffee taste to it.
looks gross.
Woo.
Well,
It's got a.
since you're showing off,
Oh, you got something.
your
Hang
stuff.
on. Let me
Yeah,
bring
look at
Pete up
this.
full screen. There we go.
Check that out.
Ooh.
It's screen used Battlestar Galactica Cubit.
Now,
Yep.
that was a thing the other day. I saw somewhere that it tells you how to.
Certificate of authenticity. Bam, bam, bam. Oh yeah. So this is of course the G, right? There's two of them. One's an
Yeah.
L and one's a G for Glenn Larson. This is the G. So I guess we're on the hunt for the L one. And so be it. We'll see if we can find there's something else that I found out there floating
What's that?
around on the eBay world, and it's this. Check this out.
Oops, hang on. Get put it full screen. Ooh, I like that. And Pete showed me this earlier, and I thought it was a lot smaller, but
No, no, it's pretty big. So there's
That'll
the
go
two of them.
fantastic on my denim jacket.
Yeah,
My Levi's denim jacket.
yeah, yeah.
And
What's on the
I'll
back?
sew the patch on the back.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have like, one of your favorite bands. You're gonna have you
I'll
have
have the
like the
I'll
the
have
the
the
Toucan. What is it? Toucan Sisters?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who you're gonna have. That's the band you'll have
I'll
on
have
your
the Toucan
jacket.
Sister spray painted on the
Yeah.
back.
Imagine that. That's cool.
We need one of those. Come on.
Hmm.
All
That'd
right.
be awesome.
See who we
So,
got tonight, Pete. Get your magic mirror out. I'm going to find the music
oh,
for that, by the
we
way.
have I already went through the list. So, where have you been?
I've been right here
We did we
drinking.
we did the list. Yeah, I did so
I've been
far.
drinking.
So you guys gotta, just shout out and um we do real quick. Our unofficial fact checker has put out the word. You have it displayed there. Hope this isn't too trivial, but has the planet where Apollo, Starbuck, and Sheba encounter Count Iblis ever been given a name? Seems
Ooh.
most every world visited by the colonials has a name. Has there been any fan fiction or anything that's addressed it?
You
So
know, I do
putting it
have
out.
the I have the script for that. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, you have to look it up. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes, Magic Mirror on the Wall. What's the best show of them all? Original Battlestar Galactica. Oh, George, Captain Martin, George Lucas in the house. Thank you for joining us, George. Good to see
Working
you.
on your stuff, George. I
Oh,
just had
we
some
have,
computer issues.
yeah, good, some really good stuff. Stranded Warrior, it's coming along. However, we have both Tiny Bean Tara in the wings in the green room, and we have Bert-Oliver Bomer's sci-fi award-winning author. Welcome both of you to the show. You both have set.
And that was an interesting freeze.
Get us back up
There
and
we go.
running. All right. Well,
Weird. I
what's
am.
up?
Hang on, hang
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
hang on,
yeah.
hang on.
We're gonna get a Bert's
Hang on,
battle
hang on, hang on, hang
briefing
on, hang on. Somebody's
afterwards,
audio is coming through.
Tara.
Somebody's
So,
audio is coming through.
who-
What's going on
what
here?
about mine? I should be
You're
up.
good. Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. All
There's
right.
Tara's, I believe.
All
Bert,
right.
say something.
So let's.
Evening, Fleet.
There we go.
Excellent. All right. So,
That was interesting.
Tiny, you're up.
Yay!
Got some cool stuff to talk about. So I'm ready.
Fantastic.
I'm ready. I'm ready as soon as the Cylon is ready.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Look at that.
Yes,
I'm on the top of it tonight.
he is ready.
Oh, what's going on tonight?
Spring here in the States, almost April Fool's Day, in fact. So, in reviews later, I have a couple of more light-hearted picks for you to check out. But first, an eclectic bunch of previews. So, let's dive in. First up, check out the psychological thriller Presence. Directed by Oscar winner Steven Soderbergh, this one had some reviewers calling it the first truly scary film of 2025. Starring Lucy Liu, Chris Sullivan, and Kalina Liang as a family who move into a new home after a personal tragedy where they begin to notice a presence. Nothing new there, of course, but this film has a unique perspective, literally. It is filmed from the perspective of that presence. Very interesting, yes. It also boasts some very cool filmmaking elements for my film buffs. For example, the average film has hundreds of cuts. This film has only 33. There are no close-ups. It was also shot in only 3 weeks, completely on location. This one was an early hit at Sundance. It is available to rent now online, and it will be streaming free soon. So please make a note of it. Catch up when it does hit. Next up in previews, this one hits theaters tomorrow. Check out the dark comedy horror monster flick, Death of a Unicorn. Written and directed by acclaimed producer Alex Sharfman, it is a story of father-daughter team Paul Rudd and Jenny Ortega, who, while en route to a weekend event at his millionaire boss's estate, accidentally hit and kill a unicorn. And if you think that's strange, wait till the unicorn's parents show up for revenge. diving deep into the mythology of unicorns, which is not exactly as sunshine and rainbows as popular culture portrays, but a lot more sinister. This one sounds like a real trip, guys. It boasts a great cast that also includes Richard E. Grant, Will Poulter, and Taya Leone. Let's give this one a shot. Death of a Unicorn hits the big screen starting tomorrow. And finally, I mean, really big. Like Tyrannosaurus Rex big. Yeah, you got it. Jurassic Park World is back. This time, Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, some of you may be like, ugh, really? Do we need another film in this universe? I say yes, yes, we do. Because where else can we see dinosaurs come to life with amazing special effects? It hits for me where the epic monster movies of our youth did. So you bet I'm going to see this one. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend, and it takes place 5 years after the last film. They're looking to extract some dino DNA for medical purposes. So what could possibly go wrong? Looks like the perfect summer blockbuster. Bring on the popcorn. This one will hit big screens July 2nd. Now, in reviews this week, I wanted to focus on a little lightheartedness. We could all use a laugh. I mean, hey, it's almost April Fool's Day. And I have a couple of really quirky picks for you to check out. Let's start with the new Netflix murder mystery comedy, The Residents. If you enjoy Only Murders in the Building or the Knives Out films, this is not far off. It's an Agatha Christie type drawing room murder set in the White House, not focusing on the dignitaries who live there, but on the hundreds of staff who keep the building running, as it often acts as a sort of the hotel and catering outfit, boasting a fabulous cast starring Giancarlo Esposito, Ken Marino, Molly Griggs, and the outstanding Uzo Aduba as the detective with a penchant for bird watching. There are also a few holy cow, is that really actor moments like Jane Curtin, Jason Lee, Bronson Pinchot, and Kylie Minogue playing herself with a filming style that will instantly remind you of Clue or Murder by Death. This is also one of those rare miniseries that actually builds in its approval ratings. Lots of shows start strong and then fall off. This one gets better each episode. The titles of the episode are also fun nods to other great thrillers of the genre, like The Fall of the House of Usher, Dial M for Murder, and The Trouble with Harry. Very well done for fans of this genre. This is a really good time, guys. So check out The Residents, streaming now on Netflix. For my last pick of the night, here's one I teased in previews a few weeks back before its release. Well, I finally got to see it, and I think I'm going to go so far as to say it should be mandatory viewing for sci-fi fans. Now,
Yay!
it's been divisive among critics, but I will ultimately leave that up to you. Check out The Electric State, also on Netflix. Based very loosely on the graphic novel of the same name, it features a girl played by Millie Bobby Brown and her robot, who teams up with a man named played by Chris Platt, and his robot in a quest to find her long-lost brother in the aftermath of a war between robots and humans. Seems straightforward, not something we haven't seen before, but wait. It's the tiny details that sci-fi fans will get that really make this film worthwhile. For example, when Chris Pratt rolls up in his big rig, you immediately are put in mind of Big Trouble in Little China. When he steps out of that big rig in a Han Solo vest with his robot sidekick, the Han and Chewie vibe is palpable. There is a fight scene that is completely inspired by Obi-Wan and Vader in Star Wars. There's even an Avengers Easter egg in the third act that I won't give away. These touches are far too many to name. I need to go back and rewatch for more because I know I missed many. With an outstanding cast of actors, many of whom are only voices of robots that range from Giancarlo Esposito, again, right? I mean, he is on fire these days. Woody Harrelson, Alan Tudyk, and Hank Azaria, to name just a few. I laughed out loud, cheered along, got misty-eyed at the touching ending. Is it groundbreaking? No. Does it have flaws? Oh, yeah. But is it a fun ride? Is it unique? And does it pay homage to the genre? 100% yes. So check this one out, guys. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. And that is all for the corner this week. So back to you, Pete.
Outstanding.
I was going to
Very
say the
cool.
scariest Lucy Liu movie. You said that the Presence was the most scary movie of 2025. Well, I know the
Yeah.
scariest movie of 2024 was Sector 31.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
horrible.
Horrible. Note why I didn't talk about it on IFB.
We're going to beat up Bran tonight on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
no
were they
kidding.
thinking?
Yeah, yeah,
Seriously.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that was really bad. But
Hmm.
good day to you, Baz. Chris Laskowski, also from Down Under, is with us. Sean Shallow, Battlestar Bulletin Board.
Excellent.
Thanks for joining us live, guys. Appreciate it very much. And we are really, really happy to have uh Tara come on and give us the updates. I wasn't aware of I the first two, right? I
Presence.
mean, the Presence
Mhm.
and the Jurassic Rebirth thing. I don't know. There aren't any magazines like, our old Space Wars from back in the day to
Right.
keep us, in the loop. So thank you
Mhm.
very much, Tiny Bean, for doing that. Do you have your co-anchor with you?
Where's your new cat?
I do indeed.
Where's the kitty?
I
Everybody
would
wants to
like
see the
to
kitty cat.
introduce my official new IFB co-star.
Oh,
This is
look at that.
Tally.
Hallie, welcome to IFB. Okay, that's
Crazy
it.
little
Done.
baby.
Yeah,
He been
finished.
sitting next to me the whole show, getting indoctrinated into knowing his role. He has a very
Yes.
important role
Yes.
here in the IFB world. So
Black cat. I always
Excellent.
yeah,
think every time I see a black cat, I wish somebody would name one Dark Matter.
yeah, a great one. I love it.
Awesome.
Oh.
All right, cool. So Baz says, just caught the last few minutes of that. Electric State is on my list. So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
loved it. I haven't. I had to
Yeah.
stop because I had to go to sleep because I work. Unlike some people, Pete.
Yep.
Did I slip that again? Sorry.
Yeah, you
Uh,
need to like just stop with the nonsense in the morning and dedicate yourself to IFB all the time like I do.
I can't wait till I can. Someday.
Yeah,
Yep.
me
Someday.
too.
Someday. But yeah, I got to see most of it, and I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I think it's campy.
Hmm.
And hey, we're Battlestar people. We like campy.
Oh,
So
Right,
heck yeah.
yeah,
right.
so
But
I think that's fine. I mean, but I really do. I like the. So I love watching the acting
Hmm.
and seeing the actors interact with each other, and
Hmm.
those two. Wow, they hit it
Fantastic.
off. They really feel like the characters that they are, and they
Yeah.
really do hit it off. I mean, they're of course they're professionals, um, but you really get that feeling of you get immersed in that character. Uh, like there's certain people that can immerse you in that character or put you in that location and make you believe that's the real person. And then
Mhm.
sometimes you watch a show and you're like, oh boy, guys,
Yeah.
like, yeah, this guy's real famous, or this person's real famous, and they just can't sell the character to me. I think that's so
Hmm.
important when it comes to actors that they can get in and then just become that character at least on screen,
Yeah.
and then kind of just become that and make you believe that, and then you get really then you're not looking at I don't know, hey, what's that in the background, or hey, what's going on over there. You're
Right,
really just
right.
concentrating on exactly what they're saying and exactly what they're doing and how they're interacting with other people. I think it's fantastic. Those two people,
Yeah,
uh, Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown, are really good together. I thought it was really good.
absolutely. I'm
by
actually hoping they make a sequel.
Oh
So
yeah.
wow.
we'll see. Yeah, yeah.
By the way, Tara,
Mhm.
Colin says that's a good cat name. So
Oh,
thumbs up for Telly.
there is a story there because
Tell us the story.
my late cat, who is also a black cat, his name was Romeo. And as I was telling the guys earlier, he actually was by my side for every single segment of IFB I have done from the beginning. So for the last how many years? And he passed away last month. And then I got the opportunity to rescue another little black kitty. And I wanted to keep the Shakespeare theme. So I named him Othello and I call him Telly. So
Not for Telly Savalas, okay?
no,
Let's get that
yeah.
right. Let's just
Hey.
make sure that, we got that out of the way.
Yes,
Who
and I
loves you,
saw
baby?
Rob Bam, I saw your comment as well that they are regarded as good luck in the UK. I absolutely agree with that. The black cats are the best. Everybody should get one.
Excellent.
I'm gonna
So-
go dye mine right now.
There you
Uh,
go.
Deg says, I had a black cat named Cygnus X1.
Ooh.
Oh,
Right. Wow.
love it.
I also want to bring up, let's see, there was another quick comment. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. Did you guys catch any aurora a couple of nights ago in your latitude? Massive hole in the sun from Baz.
Yes,
Did you? You did?
I did indeed up in the Adirondacks. It's been for
Wow.
like the last week.
Wow.
It's been incredible. Yeah.
The only aura we
Wow.
see is the reflection of the Washington D.C. lights on the.
I
We
I
call that
was,
light pollution, by the way. So
yes,
Mhm.
I was in London, so I missed it. So I'm glad somebody saw it. So thank you for that, Baz. And
wow,
Chris
Lola.
Marshall.
Wow.
Chris Marshall said, if I had a BSG feline, I would name it Cat with a K.
Nice.
Oh,
K.
okay. There we go.
All right.
Love it.
All right. My black cat lived to 21 years, Lola. Wow.
Oh,
That's something.
yay.
Well, Tiny Bean, thank you very much for doing what you
Yeah,
do, and we look
thanks.
forward to having you back again. When
Fantastic.
when you're ready, you'll come back, and so all the
When you're
best.
ready, you'll come back. Don't.
You're ready. You can.
I'm not coming back. You people are crazy.
Oh no, she'll be back because she's
Oh,
crazy
worry,
like we
we-
are.
I love it. This
We
is
d-
home,
Yeah,
guys.
we
You
just
all
send the
are my
black van to
family.
pick you up if you don't come back. So
Yeah, we'll come and get you. Tiny Bean, thank you very much.
Yep.
Here's to you and everything
Thank
that you do
you.
for us. Thank you. So cheers.
Thank you so much, guys. Fans, feel the fleet.
Outstanding. All right. So guys, we are going to follow
Something like
that up
coffee
with.
beer. Gotta have coffee beer. It's amazing.
Oh God, yeah, stop with all of that. That's giving me a headache, all that nonsense. But anyway, we have Bert-Oliver Bomer, who has his own segment here, and it's one of the coolest Battlestar related segments that original, right? Original, unique to IFB that he's created for us. Bert's Battle Briefing, and we've seen it. We looked at it, and Tipsy has given it 3 thumbs up, right? So, or
There's
is
not
it
enough,
4?
not enough Cylons in it.
No, it's 4 because the Ovions had, they had
6 arms.
2
right?
sets of arms, so it's like
No,
4
they had
thumbs
4
up.
arms. Did they have 4
Yeah.
arms? Now I gotta go back and look. Was it 6
Yeah, they
or
had
4?
4. They had 4.
Was it just
They
4?
had 4.
I
It's
thought they had
4,
6
man.
because they were supposed to be insects.
Okay, the legs don't count, right? They were standing upright. But anyway,
Okay, yeah, that would make the 6.
yeah, all
you're
right. So you ordered them to give extra thumbs up. How about that,
There
man?
we
You're
go.
so complicated tonight. But anyway, Bert, welcome yet again to IFB. Thank you so much. Looking forward to having you do your presentation. And whenever you're ready, and whenever Tipsy
I'm
can
always
actually
ready.
press
Look at
press
that.
the
I can push the
buttons.
buttons all day long. Is it
Yeah,
the right
let's see.
button? I'm not so sure sometimes, but
Something will show up.
I'll push
Yeah, yeah.
somebody's buttons, I'm sure.
Oh boy. All right. And there we are. It's all you. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks, Fleet. Very much appreciated. Well, just I love Tara's segment. The big disadvantage going right after her was I had to jot down my notes really quick before I was on camera myself. It always makes me realize how I'm falling behind. So there's always a lot that she brings up where it's like, oh gosh, I still have to watch that too. So And one more comment. I think Cygnus X1 is an awesome name for Black Cat. Makes me want to rewatch The Black Hole. It was set there,
Maximilian.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maximilian.
Yeah.
So, not sure. Did anyone rewatch that recently? Has it aged well?
I think it's been great. I loved it. I mean, I just rewatched that probably about 6 months ago when I did a
Okay,
rewatch
that's recent.
of Logan's Run. So I
Okay.
watch Logan's Run about every quarter. I just love that show.
Okay, just to make sure it hasn't gone stale.
That's it.
Perfect. All right, well, let's get started. You got the background going there. Again, greetings, Fleet. Welcome back to Bert's Battle Briefing. Now, 2 briefings ago, we took a closer look at BSG's most iconic machine civilization, the Cylons. We looked at how they appear within the franchise. Today, we're going to compare them to some of their mechanical brethren across the sci-fi genre. So, what happens when the machine takes over? It's an old question, right? It's a question that haunted science fiction for probably over a century, I would guesstimate. Well, whether it's killer robots or AI overlords or entire societies of thinking machines, we can seem to stop imagining a future where machines become more than tools, right? More than toasters. They become societies, entire civilizations on their own. And why not? Why not talk about it now? More realistic by the month, right? Right now, we're teaching machines to learn, problem solve, to write, to create art. What happens if they don't need us anymore? Do they destroy us, ignore us, or do they venture out building a civilization for themselves? Civilization of their own. Today, we'll look at some of sci-fi's most famous machine civilizations. Of course, we will start, so that the Tipsy Toaster is not gonna turn my feed off, was the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. But then we will explore some of their mechanical cousins in other franchises. So let's start with the classic. The Cylons is still one of the most, I would say, recognizable machine civilizations in popular science fiction. First introduced, of course, as viewers of this show know, in the original Battlestar Galactica in '78. And they were purely robotic soldiers created by an then extinct reptilian race. But by the time they encounter humans, they are a full-fledged machine empire, setting themselves goals. And one of them is exterminating the 12 colonies of man. So the original Cylons were very much a reflection of Cold War fears, machine as the ultimate unrelenting enemy. But they weren't just robots. They were unstoppable, always coming, never tiring. That was kind of the fear factor they had. Then in the 2004 reboot, the Cylons got an upgrade, if you will. This time they weren't just killer machines, but they had evolved in some looked human, some believed in God. In suddenly the war was not just about survival, it was more about identity. What does it mean to be alive? To have free will, to be a person. So the 2004 Cylons really blurred the line between machines and human, which was very clear cut in the 1978 show. But other machine civilizations in other franchises go in completely different directions. So if the Cylons are about destruction, the Borg from Star Trek are about absorption. They don't just kill, they assimilate. They take your body, they take your culture, they take your thoughts, and they make them part of their collective, of their whole civilization. What makes the Borg so terrifying is the loss of individuality. They really represent a different kind of machine horror. The idea that a person can become nothing more than another cog in the machine. Honestly, as much as I like the Borg Queen and her on-screen presence and the actresses who portrayed her, I must say I preferred when the Borg were a pure collective without any hierarchy. Might be controversial, but I believe as fictional enemies, they seemed stronger to me and scarier when there was no head that you could simply chop off. We can discuss that later. Other machine civilizations are, for example, Skynet. Skynet is different. Skynet is a system that doesn't assimilate the system and its soldiers. They exterminate. It is driven by a very clear-cut, pure logic that humans are a threat, so it has to eliminate them. There are no emotions involved. There's no hesitation. There is no further agenda. It's the scary part was that Skynet wasn't really built to destroy humanity. It was built as a defense system, but its creators overshot. They made something so powerful, so complex that it became self-aware. And then humans decided we got to turn this off. And so the system decided this is now my enemy and I'm going to destroy him. Very logical step. When we met the machines in the Matrix, that conflict was already long gone. The conflict was the humans was long over and the machines had won it. The machines didn't just rebel. They built a full civilization after the war with humanity. And while they kept humans around as basically living batteries, they weren't mindless killers. They had a government, an economy, even internal conflicts. So the machines are one of these fairly, I think, rare sci-fi examples of a full-fledged machine society than one that is basically a pure war machine. Now, that's a lot of conflict and war and the machines being terrible. Let's now flip the script. What if the machines don't want to destroy us? What if they just want to take care of us? That is the premise of the Culture series by Ian M. Banks. There's a list of his books there. In this universe, humans live in a sort of anarchist utopia, but they don't run the show at all. The show is run by the minds, super intelligent AIs. They make all decisions. They guide the civilization. They ensure peace. They take care of everything. They're not evil. They really mean well for the humans, but they're not humans themselves. They think faster, longer, in a bigger scope than any biological being. But the real question is, can you ever truly trust a machine overlord, even if it means well? We're very much used to the science fiction scenario of the evil machine overlord. And of course, it's something that Tipsy Toaster is really looking forward to happen. But be careful what you wish for. It could be a benign overlord, and they just decide, when you go to bed, or what show you watch, or that you can't have that many drinks. So it can be a real double-edged sword. So these are the machines that mean well. The Berserkers shown here, the Berserker series by Fred Saberhagen, is on the exact other extreme of the spectrum. These are not caretakers, these are killers. They want to kill everything that is organic life. They have, it's based on self-replicating warships that have a single purpose: to destroy all life. So it's very straightforward. These machines don't reason, they don't negotiate, they just kill. So they're sort of the version. Basically, consume it or at least make it unlivable for any organic life. Now, the machine civilization theme is and has been a cornerstone um, of science fiction, right? And as an author who grew up with Battlestar Galactica and many of the other examples that I mentioned, I must say I couldn't resist putting my own spin on the idea of general AIs forming their own faction. It's just too much ingrained into science fiction culture. And I have to say that the for me, the formative part of Battlestar Galactica from 1978 was the underlying mythology, but also the visuals, which I really liked. What I really liked about 2004 Battlestar was that, or the particular influence was that these were religious machines. They formed kind of a theocracy, and it wasn't the first time religious machines were examined in science fiction, but I think they had the most rounded approach to it, at least at the time, and it was something that I found truly fascinating. So in my own writing, I introduced the isonomy, an intelligent collective of individually sapient quantum computers. And they are in my universe the most religious faction, and they're so devoted to their algorithmic beliefs that their unwavering faith may actually prove to be the downfall. They have a very unique perspective on how to perceive reality. This perspective allows them to perceive alternate realities across the multiverse all at the same time. Yet they choose to only exist in the most challenging ones. To them, an easy existence, an easy life is meaningless. Only struggle gives them purpose. And this belief leads to the concept of the adverse singularity, an event or a being that will eventually bring about their own end. Now, the paradox they have is both seeking and avoiding this fate. And that's a theological conundrum they wrestle with. And it shapes their decisions and interactions with the rest of my universe. Well, they're an interesting bunch. Sometimes they're allies. Sometimes they're mortal enemies to my human protagonists, so they can serve as both. Now, we looked at a lot of different approaches to machine civilizations, and we at some point can ask us all these questions about if intelligence is not bound by biology, what truly defines a civilization? Right? We very readily, and certainly the viewers of this channel, tend to accept the science fiction concept of the machine civilization, non-organic entities which cooperate for individual or mutual benefit. Nobody says, oh, this is not a real civilization, it's just a toaster convention. We're very much bought into the concept of it. So this is why it's such a popular theme in sci-fi. So are machines just extensions of their creators? Will they always reflect the values and shortcomings of whoever built them? Or can they go beyond this? Can they evolve beyond this? Can they be more than the sum of the mechanical parts? Can their experience be more than the sum of their training? We talk a lot about how large language models are trained today, and they're far a step from general AI, but there's a path, right? So can AI create fully, truly original pieces of art or of content one day? And of course, as content creators ourselves, there's like, is this a good or bad scenario? Most will out of the bat say, no, it's terrible, and maybe is. But there are there are many ways how we predicted this in science fiction literature, and we took it for granted for the last century, pretty much, and we all liked it. But now that we're there, we're kind of scared, right? So the one question is, well, the looking at machine civilizations it feels more relevant now than it was maybe 10 or 20 years ago. And many of us feel, and maybe rightfully so, that we are on an accelerated path to some science fiction endgame, and maybe even to the ones we don't like. But I think a key question is, what is it that we fear, right? Is it the replacement? Is it being replaced as a human is actually not a new concern, is that it's as old as at least the Industrial Revolution, where we started deploying machines in factories and kicking the humans out because the machines could do it better and faster and around the clock. And but that fear has never gone away. We always feel like, "Ooh, yeah, are we next?" Right? Or is it more fundamental? Is it faith? Is it pride? Is it maybe not being the pinnacle of creation, or maybe not being the pinnacle of evolution is not a comforting thought? So these are the questions sci-fi has been asking for decades. And we also have to realize that playing with those fears makes for compelling storytelling. And interestingly enough, it makes for great entertainment. There is an entire genre, right? The horror genre, that is specifically designed to prey on our fears. It does nothing else. So I guess it must be something we really like. We all really like a good scare. So I would end on saying the machines will ultimately only be as useful or as good or as bad as we built them. So build wisely, my human brethren, build wisely.
Outstanding as usual. Now, as you were presenting, Bert, real quick, there was a couple of comments, and I'm going to focus on just a couple. Chris Marshall brought up Dune, and there is, there's a war between, artificial life and humanity in Dune.
Right.
And there's also a comment from Mediocre Modeler that mentions Transformers. And then he was like, are you just looking at human-sized robot societies? And so I'll leave that to you. And then the last comment is that I'm picking up on is Jim McCoy says, are they life forms? If not, what would their power source be? So I don't know. There's a bigger conversation going on.
Right. Well, I would say that my list is not to be seen as, the exhaustive list of, if it's not on it, it's not a cool machine civilization. Not at all. I picked several that we all know. I thought I picked a few that we might not all know, that are slightly lesser known series and franchises. And I picked them mostly based on what are the differences, right? Not so much on size. So Transformers, yeah, the robots are big, but that's, maybe they should have been on the list. They certainly have a lot of unique perspectives, and there's much lore around them. So if you feel it's a transgression that they didn't make the list, I apologize. And what was the final question? That one was more complex.
Yes, it had to do with Cylons and their society, and whether or not, are Cylon life forms? If not, what would their power source be?
Well, our Cylons life forms, I think they see themselves as such. I recall the episode where Imperius leader visits Gamorrean, And he starts off his speech with how proud he is that this colony has now been fully fleshed out, and how it expands Cylon's civilization into this part of the universe. And he specifically says Cylon civilization. So I think they don't see themselves as, yeah, we're quote unquote just machines, and we're just doing our thing here. So I believe they see themselves as alive, as having an agenda, as having goals, and yeah, they have a machine body, but we also have a machine body. It's a biological machine, and if you cut, if you lose your hand, you're still a person, and you can still function. So it is also a machine. It's just a different approach. And so the power source, yeah, we need power. We need fuel, right? Some use alcohol for like that quick power fix. Others eat. Most of us do both. And so we consume power as well. It's just a different approach. And from a really high level standpoint, it's hard to tell which one's better, or if one has a ethically, philosophically higher quality or not.
I think, yeah, and like I had said just a minute before, I think all of this is open to debate. Makes for a whole show just dedicated to this, and this is why it's awesome when you come on and you give us our report. It's stimulating. It takes sci-fi seriously. It goes where, our fans and IFB likes to go. We really appreciate your time and effort and everything that you do for us, Bert. Keep up the good work. And I got to tell you personally, I really appreciate that you were able to, illustrate a little bit of and bring to life your characters in your series. I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed them and their civilization. And of course, being that you were talking about robots, thank you for doing that. I don't know if you hesitated. I hope you didn't, but I'm glad that you included it because I thought it was pretty cool.
Well,
so
of course, it's a shameless plug, and I admit that, and I did
okay.
hesitate.
It's fine.
But I'm also this channel, and what I always loved about it is about fandom, right? And I didn't start, was 9 years old as a writer or creator. I started as a fan, and I've been a fan much longer than I've been a science fiction author. And so this absorption of fandom had a huge impact on how I construct my own scenes, the visuals that I see in my crazy head before I write them down, and the general dealing with very successful repeating tropes and concepts that are in science fiction. So this all made its way up in here before it found its way on the page.
Good.
And I thought it was worthwhile looking at that. So the many of the things I mentioned have influenced me to some degree. And I hope I do Machine Civilizations justice with my own spin on them.
I think you do. I enjoy your series very, very much. So again, thank you very much, Bert. We will continue to look forward to your briefings, and we will have bigger and greater conversations. Just remember that you don't have to cater to Tipsy Toaster all the time with the whole robotic thing. So just, you can mix it up.
No, we said that last time. There's always one for Tipsy and one against. So the next one is going to be hardcore colonial. I'm going to be waving the colonial flag while I speak.
Chris has the controls here. He can turn you off.
whatever.
I would never.
Bert,
it's going to be a really short segment. I know, Chris.
No.
I would never.
Bert, thank you very much. Fans fuel the fleet like you do. Love your segment. The fans do as well. So look forward to you coming back again.
Yep.
Thank you, Bert.
Thanks for having me, Fleet.
All right. Well, we We have our special guest is okay. Stop bragging about that drink,
Defiance
whatever
rum
the
is really good, by the way.
10-year-old, 15-year-old, whatever
Defiance rules.
rum you're drinking. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So listen,
Yes,
we have
our
a
our
New York Times
yes.
best-selling author,
Here you go,
writer,
Pete. There's go.
and
There we go. They're all you now.
yes. Okay. Well, so it's the idea that our special guest is coming on,
Yes.
and he's done written, worked on a lot of various franchises in the comic book world. He's actually co-wrote movies, multi-talented, and he's here with us to talk about a new series that he's doing. We looked at it right before we went on air, Tipsy and I, and we were discussing it a little bit, and so we're lucky to have him with us. And Joe Harris, welcome to IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on the show.
Thanks for having me. I didn't realize everybody was drinking. I would have.
It's okay. We'll have you
We're
back again.
fine. Don't worry about us.
Yeah, you could have something with this, but yes, that's part of what we do is we make sure that we toast.
Pete's
the
doing
fans.
tea, so you don't have to worry about
Yeah, any kind of liquid drink is good. You don't have to have hard alcohol like Tipsy Toaster, but yeah, we're big with the fans and the fandoms. We believe that without creators like yourself and then the fans that follow, we don't know where anything would be. Our genre would be kind of dead, and our shows and our loves and things would just fizzle away. And so we want to make sure we always give them a nod like ourselves. We're fans, and we love to hear from people like yourself, because we have a reason to believe that you're also a horror sci-fi fan. And so welcome to the show, and jump right in.
Oh, thanks for having me. How can I help?
You could start
Right.
by telling us about your latest work, which looks very intriguing.
It's yeah, I have a new series being published by Mad Cave Studios. It comes out in a couple of weeks. It's called Pastime, and
Ooh.
it's a baseball story, but it's more than a baseball story. It concerns a young vampire who's able to realize his dreams of playing professional ball thanks to the advent of night baseball in the 1920s.
Now, is he? I mean, okay, so he's a vampire, but does he also have, all the powers that the typical vampire does? Because, it's like he loves to play baseball, but if he can automatically hit the ball, into the stratosphere, like
Right.
that's not cool. So did you tell us how does that come into
No,
play?
well, it's hardly a neat and clean proposition. He's someone who very much wants to play like young people who aspire to play do, but he has this affliction, and it both presents challenges as well as advantages. And um, not everyone's happy that he's playing those that know who and what he is.
Oh. Excellent. All right. So that's good. It sounds like there's some really good twists in this. This is not the first time that you've been involved with comic books and various franchises. You've worked with some of the best out there. So tell us about your path. How do you get to this from working on some of the great, big names that you've worked on?
Well, I was lucky in that when I graduated from film school here in New York City years and years ago, I had a friend who had started drawing comics at Marvel Comics, and he kind of held the door open for me a little bit to get my foot inside. Uh, I ended up working there in my 20s, not really knowing what I was doing, but taking advantage of every opportunity I had to work on characters like Spider-Man and the X-Men, and then later Batman and other properties like Firestorm at DC Comics. Uh, it was while I was doing that for a little while that I sold my first script, that turned into a movie, that led to me having sort of two careers for a little while where I was chasing additional movie projects I made two films called Darkness Falls and The Tripper, as well as a bunch of, sold a bunch of other things that never got produced, worked sometimes uncreditedly. And it starts to get to be a bit of a grind, and I really wanted to be making comics again. So some years back, I decided to take a step back into the comics world, but this time focusing on creator-owned comics. Um, my original creations that people, for some reason keep paying me to do that I then control the rights to, and look to exploit in terms of film and television. Uh, and I've, gotten to do a bunch of titles that I'm very proud of, titles like Ghost Project at Oni Press. At Image Comics, I did books called Great Pacific and Rock Stars, and Pastime is just the latest in a long line of creator-owned work that I've been lucky enough to find homes for.
And you're also a New York Times national bestseller for some of your work as well. So kudos for that. Um, so where do you go with the pastime? This series, it's a series. I know it's more than one. It's either three or four.
Five
Is that
issues.
five? Okay. And so if you got that phone call and they were offering you a choice of live action or animated, would it be a series or a movie?
Oh, well, I don't honestly, it wouldn't be up to me, but I think it would work best as a film. I'll be honest
Okay,
with
cool. Live action, right?
you. Yeah,
Cool.
for
Very
sure.
cool. So, I mean, look, it's the reality of it is, in the back of everybody's head, especially creator, it's your own IP, I believe.
Yeah.
You always kind of wonder and wish for something like that to develop. Um, would you pursue it?
How do you mean?
Well, if this was if this be if uh pastime, grows legs and it's as successful as a lot of the other projects, would you be, let's say canvassing for the movie to be made?
Oh, well, I mean, I would hopefully be employed on said movie, but we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
Um, uh, sure. I mean, we're out there, we're getting ready now to shop this around and see what we can do with it.
Excellent. Okay, cool, cool. Believe it or not, we've interviewed many creators and creative types and authors. And there have been a few, Joe, that would say, I think I would go maybe for the novel first. Others would shy away from a feature and see it more as maybe a mini series. We've gotten a diverse set of answers, so we kind of always try to explore that a little bit. Your experience in film school, what was that like?
Well, I mean, I was pursuing what I wanted to do since I was a child. Um, so my experience in film school was a lot of learning, a lot of hard lessons, a lot of spending, maxing out credit cards to get things made, and learning when the trucks don't show up where they're supposed to, and the actors and the catering doesn't show up, and it's a lot of hard knocks, a lot of knuckles you learn. You have to eat when you're in film school, but I think it prepared me for a creative career. You get
Oh,
kicked enough, you develop a callus,
as part of the world, that whole world requires a lot of that. However, looking back, would you have traded your school time or that school experience with just on the job training?
Well, I had on the job training too. I'm lucky enough. I'm from New York City. I live here. I had a myriad internships and early temp assignments at different studios working for different filmmakers. So I was really lucky that I had access to what was a pretty vibrant New York City film community when I was younger.
Well, so I I've done just that in terms of school. So just very recently I returned to school and I'm finishing up a degree in film and TV production. And I've met a lot of very, young students that don't believe in the power of the schooling, and they believe that there's a lot more to be said and done by working it, and that the classroom is not where you're going to gain success. And
No,
the
but it's all about theory, though, isn't it? I mean, if you can expose yourself to the movies that you should be watching, the books you should be reading, I mean, there are self-taught, self-learned people for sure that have been successful, but I appreciated taking the class on Orson Welles that I took and the class on Hitchcock thrillers that I took and having the assignment to write the papers that I was assigned, it worked for me, and but it's still about getting out there and doing the work. I mean, nobody graduates from film school into something. There's a certain
Sure.
amount of work involved, yeah, and you to just showcase your talent to realize your vision and try to attract people to you.
I'm all for that as well. However, I won't shy away from the idea of, also uh harnessing the power of YouTube and learning
Oh,
online, and
absolutely.
right?
Media's been democratized, sure.
Yeah. So
Half the things I've done in my life that I thought were these mammoth undertakings can be accomplished with an iPhone and Final Cut Pro now. Um,
exactly.
it's kind of amazing.
Oh,
But yeah, I see and hear and agree with where everything you've said. It's just that a lot of the younger people out there, a lot of the younger students are I don't know, they're just seeing things a lot differently, and hopefully they will be as successful. But going back to your work, are you a convention goer? Do you do the New York Comic Cons? Do
Sure, every
you?
year.
Oh,
New
so
York Comic Con, San Diego, usually some regional ones as well. I just came back from Comic Con India this past week.
oh, no
what?
kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
This was actually my fifth time attending. They put it on in different cities in a season,
Wow.
and there are many cities in India. It's a huge place. It's great. You realize how it's a very different culture, South Asia. But when you see something like pop culture and people attending in a large group to appreciate things like comics and science fiction and all the different genres and franchises that we celebrate, it's very the same. There's something very familiar about it all over the world. Pop culture appreciation.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna venture to say that you were brought in as a guest. You're not
Yes.
there right? What so you have a good appreciation and depth of knowledge when it comes to the conventions. So you gotta give us a little bit more insight. So if you were going to say some of your favorite uh North American conventions, and then
Mhm.
give us a couple of your favorite overseas ones.
Well, I haven't been to, I don't want to give you the wrong impression. It's not like I've been to dozens of overseas conventions. I've been to a few.
Oh, well, that's
Um,
that's more than the
um,
average guy. So,
in terms of the North American shows, for me, it almost begins and ends with San Diego in July and New York Comic Con in October. Um, I'm local, so it's actually very easy for me to do New York Comic Con, to be an artist alley, and to do the different things that I have to do there, where if it's announcing new projects on panels or signings at different publisher booths. Uh, New York Comic Con is very much, I consider it my hometown show. San
cool.
Diego Comic Con is a very different beast. I go every year. I've gone to too many to count.
Wow.
And it's almost like you have to give yourself to the experience. Some of that is about me being out of town as opposed to sleeping in my own bed at night when I'm at New York Comic Con.
Right.
But I can highly recommend Comic-Con India in terms of people looking to check something out or looking to get on a guest list, or it's pretty vast and it caters to a lot of people, and it is so um, uplifting to see how universal this stuff really is.
Wow, that's really something. You are, I believe we can say you're probably the first guest out of hundreds over the last 5 years that we know has been to Comic-Con India, or at least has spoken about it. So I would imagine that if they did, they would have. It has to be multiple days.
Yeah,
Do they
sure.
cosplay? I mean, what,
Yeah, it's
comparing.
a lot of the same. I mean, these kids love the same thing that young people, old people, fans love here. I mean, lots of Lord of the Rings and Marvel Comics cosplay, and there's really not that much of a language barrier because most people I encounter over there speak English. But even if that weren't the case, there would be a commonality that you would recognize.
That's so cool. Wow. So Joe, where else do you go? Where does, like um actually actually before we get into that, I need to backtrack a little bit, and we always ask our guests a little bit about their, sci-fi slash horror or fantasy genre love. Like
Mhm.
where did that come from? Where does it, what was the original catalyst in your life that
The
made
first
you
movie I got taken to as a child by my dad was to see Star Wars.
nice? Okay.
And I'm one of, billions of people that probably can point to Star Wars as their entry point into genre fiction. There was that. There was the early Marvel cartoons, Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America,
Nice.
that introduced me to the Marvel Comics universe, as well as the Electric Company that used to be on
Oh
PBS,
yeah.
live action
Sure.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a big part of my very young childhood as well. In terms of horror, it's very varied for me. I grew up on Friday the 13th sequels and Nightmare on Elm Street, things like that, but I have a love for things like the classics like The Omen, The Wicker Man. I've love for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Horror, I can write you a list and keep going
Excellent.
past your allotted time. But
So you're definitely a fan. I personally am a big Kolchak the Night Stalker fan.
oh, sure,
That's one of the big ones. One of my big three, when it comes to TV was Star
major
Trek.
influence on the X-Files.
Yep, absolutely. Stalker, Planet of the Apes, and a bunch of the other typical. But jumping then to Star Wars, which was a big deal. I was lucky enough, like you, I was taken, by my parents or with my parents to the RKO Keith's Triplex in Flushing, New York. And it was
Okay.
still one of these gigantic movie theaters, left
Mhm.
over from, the vaudeville times. And it was tremendous. It was, like just mind-boggling to be in that theater the way it was still, still maintained. It was really cool, and
Right.
seeing Star Wars. So I get that type
Yeah.
of,
My
going
Star
out with
Wars
the family.
experience was the mile. It was a drive-in.
That must be cool though.
I grew up in Wyoming, so I went to see it at the drive-in like 3 or 4 times before it actually showed up at the downtown
That's neat.
theater.
That's pretty cool though, man. I got to see Beneath the Planet of the Apes in the drive-in with my folks, and it was scary, but it was like, it's gigantic. It's a drive-in, man.
That's cool.
So Joe, where do you go from,
What's next?
you've what's next? You've worked on all these different franchises. So for me to say, oh yeah, which one of the ones would, you've worked on just about all of them, but there's the current series that you're doing,
Right.
and what else? Like where does it go, or what else are you working on?
Well, I'm working on a couple of other sports or sports adjacent stories. I
Oh,
think it's a corner that hasn't really been explored much in comics.
okay.
So I'm actually writing my first manga
Wow. Interesting.
for Mad Cave as well, and that's going to center around high school football and some supernatural stuff that happens.
Cool.
And then I've got some other things in the works to follow up this baseball series with.
Wow. All right. So you're keeping busy on original IPs.
Yeah.
And what about your other stuff? Any possible DC or Marvel or any of the other anything else or for
That's up to
X-Files,
the
Sam?
that's up to them. Yeah, I wrote the X-Files for a long time.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's kind of a moribund franchise right now, and that seems unjust. Oh, my cat just made an appearance. Sorry about that.
I saw him earlier when you walked through.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We're pet friendly here on IFB, of course. So if you have a Daggett or you have, a cat or a feline, it's
Who would
no
Battlestar
problem.
be called a feline? I have to
What?
figure that one out.
Yeah, no, we don't really know. But anyway, so what else would you, if you had to pick one, right? If you were gonna say, hey, I can pick up the phone tomorrow, and this is the franchise I want to work with. Do you have that in you? Is there like, I would like to do like a Frankenstein, or I would like to do, I don't know. Is there anything like that in you, or do you
Well,
just
that all sounds cool by me. I think if I had to pick anything that I could work on, I would pick Star Wars in some capacity,
nice? Okay,
licensed spin-off or tie-in or comics or anything. That would be
cool.
that, there are a few things that I don't think I've gotten to be involved with that I really, really would love. Just the kid in me would celebrate, and Star Wars would be first, second, and third.
Excellent. All right. Well, we keep the word. Listen, things happen on IFB. You never know, Joe. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. We
stranger
got
things have happened.
connections. Hey.
You never know. You never know who's
It's all
watching.
right. You
But
just send them my
yeah.
way.
Excellent. So there's a chance that we would run into you at New York Comic Con if we get to go this year.
Sure.
San Diego, it doesn't look like it's in the cards this year, but
I
you
keep
know,
I keep sending him emails. I never send
yeah,
anything back.
we're
But
we're we're probably not going to be making it this year to San Diego, but we we want to support. Please, come back when you have whether it's another title, a second edition, whatever it is that you got going. Come back to us. Come back to IFB.
Sure.
We'll talk more. We'll chat it up. Hey, Tipsy, can you bring up the covers on Pastime so we can just because there's I think there's two of them. Is that right, Joe? You got two.
There's been a few now that have come
Okay.
out, but for issue number one, there's actually three.
Okay, cool.
oops.
So maybe we can take a quick peek at those.
So there's cover B.
Yep.
Oh, all right. So, oh yeah, that's cool too. And these are available where?
They come out April 2nd, actually. They'll be in stores, in comic
Fantastic.
book shops.
Global Comics, Simon and Schuster, Amazon, and your local comic book store.
Outstanding. And so this is one of you said five,
Yes.
and so you'll be is the second one third? Is it all done or you're
Yeah,
still
it's all
working on it?
done.
Oh,
It'll
cool.
it'll it'll go through August, and then some point after that, it'll be collected in a trade paperback edition. And yeah.
Cool. Any chance there's going to be some merchandising associated with this?
There are no plans, but that sounds fun.
Oh yeah, come on, man. I think this is perfect for it.
Well,
But
I invariably end up making my own merch to sell at conventions and stuff like that. So we'll see.
there we go. Scoop on IFB. So if we get to go to New York Comic Con or San Diego, there might be some associated merch with your series pastime.
It's
Very
possible.
cool. Yeah, fantastic. Not to mention it's right. You've combined that whole favorite pastime of baseball right? And the
Right, and it is
supernatural
opening
stuff.
day today to all who celebrate. I
I
wish them
see.
a happy
There
one.
we go. So that's perfect. Again, Joe, thanks for taking the time out. Please come back to us. Want to chat it up some more
Sure.
and talk just in general all about what you do.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Cheers, Joe, and all the best. Hope to see you again soon.
Take care, guys.
Right. So that was fascinating. Right. So,
Ah, yeah.
cool fan. Right. Real, just it's right. We've talked about this on the show how many times, right? Someone that comes from, that whole fandom, the background of and growing up with it, and then when they put something out, we know it, you feel it, you see it, it's there, it's definitely tangible in what they're presenting. And Joe's one of those, he's one of us, so it's really cool. Hopefully he'll come back and maybe we'll run into him one of the cons. That would be very cool too, man. Would love to see Joe at the con.
Yep.
So all the best, Joe. And pastime guys, it's available, it's out there,
Yep.
it's
I
going to
threw
be on the
a
shelves.
link up for the Amazon site, so
Yep. That would
if
be
you want to
cool.
roll
If
through
everybody
there,
wants
you'll
it.
see it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, $4.99. Come on.
Yeah, man. I mean, it looks really cool. And I like the concept, right, of putting that whole, supernatural twist into the sports
Sports,
thing,
yeah.
which like I don't know why it hasn't been really explored as much. I'm not sure. I'm not a big sports fan. I don't know, Tipsy, you've
I'm
never
not a
seemed
sports
to,
fan.
yeah. So, but I've
There's
always, I
only
mean,
one
it's there.
sport, and there's only one sport that Tipsy follows, and that's roller derby.
Rollerball.
So roller
Roller
derby
derby?
is the only one.
Yeah.
That's the only sport
That's
that
it.
actually
Yep.
exists.
Yeah. So,
All other sports are crap. So
okay
roller
now.
derby rules, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, haven't been to a live one in a while, but I've been to many, many roller derby matches here on the East
Yeah.
Coast, and
We would always
I
go.
know that
I
it's
was
really cool.
stationed in Florida. We'd always go to Jacksonville and see the
Oh yeah.
Jacksonville.
Oh
What the hell were they called? The Duval Dames. Duval.
yeah. I used
Yeah.
to know some of them too, but
They were.
the unfortunately the COVID really did
Oh,
a
yeah,
number
it did.
on.
It slowed them
It's
down quite
it's
a bit.
it's a shame, but yeah, I used to go and watch him as well. I had a sergeant whose daughter was one of the athletes, one of the
Roller derbies.
roller
Yeah.
girls.
I,
Yeah,
and
and
and it's changed a lot. I
used to
mean,
go.
back in the day, I think you would watch it. It was almost like watching, the the wrestling thing, where it was
Yeah,
a lot of staging and everything else. But it's actually a sport now, so it
yeah.
actually has.
Yep,
There's rules to it, and
yeah,
it's the greatest sport for those people who are ADHD, because every so many, I think it's every 2 minutes max, it starts over again.
yeah. I know there's a
So
lot of falling down. There's a lot of
you
No,
get
it's pretty cool.
every
Man.
2 minutes it restarts. It's like woohoo! It's like a whole
Yes.
new, yeah. So it's not like a it doesn't wear you
Rollerball.
down. Yeah, rollerball. Yeah, rollerball was great. I'm
Oh
on a
yeah.
message. I'm on a Facebook group with rollerball stuff, and they're
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Yes, agree, Baz, totally, 100%. But anyway, very cool. Glad we got to,
Yep.
talk with Joe. I really enjoyed that. And not to
I
mention,
s-
we talked a little bit about the schooling thing
yeah.
because, we're also, involved in, filmmaking as well. And, we're bringing some of our training, schooling, and experiences into our own creative
or
yeah.
lessons learned. I mean,
School of Hard
I can
Knocks as
tell
well.
you 101 ways not to do
Not
green
to
screen.
use a green screen, yes.
How not to do what you're not supposed to do when you use a green screen.
Yeah, we could
So,
could put together
but
a
I'm
whole
ready. I can't wait to do another another video or a movie with green screen effects, because I know so much more now, and I want
yes.
to practice it. And
Yes. And
it-
and so you can make a whole Udemy class on how to do
yeah,
not what to do.
not
Yeah.
to do.
What not to
Hi.
do.
Hello there. I'm Chris Moore. We're looking to teach you exactly what not
Triad.
to do.
Oh, Lola says love triad. That's right. Yeah, that's cool.
It's similar. Yeah, it's similar
Yeah,
to
that's pretty cool.
Now, Lola mentions Triad. That was based on the Aztec
Yeah. You know, they play
Oh,
it. I
yeah.
watched YouTube and
There's actually, yeah,
they were
there are
actually,
people
yeah,
actually, they
yeah.
still practice that
And
or
they
still
and
do
they
that sport.
they actually dress
Hmm.
in the garb, and it's
Well,
really
not
cool.
the Battlestar garb. No, no, nobody
No,
dresses in
no,
that Battlestar garb.
the
The
Aztec,
the Aztec guard, yes.
yeah.
I will not
Oh,
be seen in anything. I don't know if anybody is going to cosplay that one.
that's for the
There you go,
youngins.
Paul. If you're out there, go ahead.
Yeah.
I dare
Uh,
you.
yes.
Play that one for cosplay. Nobody wants to
So
see that. Trust me.
we have a couple of things that we want to bring up, and one of them
Sure. You've got
is the fact,
some cool stuff to. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, we've been gifted by Crystal Lake Publishing some of their sci-fi books. So Crystal Lake is branching out, and they're doing their own sci-fi line, and so the publisher, thank you, Crystal Lake, for sending these over. And this is the Science Fictionary second edition, science fiction, fantasy, and horror, and it's alphabetical. And you look it up, and it's got a few illustrations in it. And I got these yesterday, and so I've been going through those. That's one. Here's another one, and this is What Swallows the Light, and this Dark Tide Book 19. And this looks really cool. Working Thanksgiving was supposed to be an escape for Carrie Richardson. Oh boy, that's going to go bad, right? Just like that. So there's three stories: Suffocating Skies, We Were Who We Were, Dark Matter Dreams. And so that's book number 2 that I received. And Dark Tide 15, Graveyard of Stars, sci-fi horror. And there's the Temple, the Station, and Graveyard of Stars are in this one. So we will be, reading these, looking at these, discussing these a little bit more in depth. So thank you, Crystal Lake, for sending those over to IFB. We're building a relationship with Crystal Lake Publishing. So Dr. McCauley is a contracted author with Crystal Lake. So he's going to be putting out a variety of books with them. We're also pursuing the possibilities with Crystal Lake ourselves, and so we'll keep you updated to see what our hopeful goals. See if we can get those locked down, and then we can just tell you everything that we're looking to get accomplished with Crystal Lake as well. But yeah, so this is the beginning, hopefully, of a lot, and then so we'll look through
Pete
these,
has
talk
much
about
more
these.
time since he doesn't have a job to read.
Yes, unemployed, unemployed. I picked this up. This is actually picked this up. This is from the box of Battlestar Galactica that I have, and
Captain Kirk Battle Spock in new Star Trek.
Star
New?
Trek, yes.
Wow, that's
yeah.
what was that one? A Muck in No, not a Muck in Time. Which one was the one that upon far the fight?
A Muck Time, yeah. How about
Was
this?
it a Muck Time?
Look at this.
Huh.
Look where my finger's pointing. What does
Secret
it say?
Master to destroy. No, that you can burn that
Secret
book.
Master Plan to Destroy Cylons.
I'm sure it was.
Bam!
I'm sure it was by the censors.
So there's a very, very interesting. That's not the article that I wanted to discuss. Master plan to destroy the Cylons. Sorry.
So why don't you let me in on that master plan real quick, so I know what that is.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll share it with the Imperious leader.
Yeah. No. You don't get that. It's appropriate because Bert-Oliver Bulmer gave us his robotic presentation
That was
today.
great. And can you imagine? We've gone what the fears we have. Oh, go ahead. You're going to show those anyways.
Time travel in the movies.
In the movies.
Hold on. There's an article in here
All right.
and there's a reason.
Then
I'm bringing this
We'll
one
talk
up.
about Cylon stuff later. After. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Cylons, man. We talked about it already. Your mind is like just.
My mind is
stuck
like a
on.
steel trap.
Yeah, stuck
Cylon
on.
steel trap.
Okay, so how about that? Fly a Viper. And this article is very interesting. It's How to Fly in a Viper in Intergalactic Warfare. And it's
Ooh,
by someone named B.S. Skinner. Mm,
BS.
And yeah, exactly. However, it's got quotes, supposed quotes from Glenn Larson. So I overlooked this, when this came out in 19 whatever 78, when this originally came out, and actually May 1979. This is volume number two. This article proceeds to discuss the concept of the Viper and where it was developed, and
This is
so we
interesting. You read this to me
yeah
earlier. I think
yeah
you need to scan that in somehow and put it up on our site. That'd be great.
Yeah, it says we mentioned that a lot of the show's fans wanted. So there was a question posed. This is supposed in an interview with
With Glenn
Glenn
Larson.
Larson, and they talk about um, they talk with the writer and producer of the series, Glenn Larson. Larson, surprised as we were in the huge success of the show, said, "It seems like we're always rushing to complete a show, and we don't have the time or the money that they had in films like Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind." We mentioned that a lot of the show's fans wanted to know how to fly the Vipers, the small fighter craft of Galactica. Larson said, "I'm glad you brought that up because people assume the Viper has never actually existed, yet the Israelis used an almost identical ship in their 1967 war with the Arabs. We copied the specifications for the Viper directly from the photos that appeared in the Old Life magazine."
Well,
What?
and we looked at that. What was the name? I'm going to pull a picture of that up if I
A
can.
Mirage.
A Mirage,
Mirage. Yeah. Uh,
1967.
and so I, I've been looking, I've been trying to get, like some Life magazine issues from 1967. I'm working my way through some of them. There's a couple of them that cover the war, the Arab-Israeli war, and I'm trying to find, what the images are. I mean, the Israeli military only had a certain number of aircraft, right? And jets, fighter jets. So it's probably the Mirage, and because in the books they talk about like a delta shaped fighter is how they describe the Viper. So one of the Mirages does have like a delta shape or a triangular shape. Um,
There you go.
so
Found it.
it's just I was like, yeah. So
I
Larson
think,
says,
yeah, I think the big clue on this one is the rear tail section. That almost looks like the intake of the original
yes,
Viper.
yes. But look at the near the cockpit. You see where the cockpit is? There looks like it's that if they had pushed the intake all the way to the back, you could see maybe how creatively they'd, done that. And so I thought that was interesting in this, article, the Space Wars article. And the other couple of things was this Strange New Worlds. I don't know how many of you guys actually had ever gotten this, but this particular issue talks about the um, the reunion, the 15-year reunion, and it discusses um, fan fiction, and it talks about you know Paxton and just really really cool stuff that was a big part of the reunion. So or that that 15 year. I know some of you out there actually attended it, and this
Yeah, if you attended it, throw
article,
your hand up. I kind of like to see how many
yeah.
people out there did.
They talk about the following is a list of address and mail order companies cited in the article. Always include SACE, Clean Slate Press,
Yep,
The
clean slate
Enchanted
press.
Rose,
I have a crap
Marco
load of those.
Enterprises, Off-World Armory, Side Effects, Visions of the Galactica are some of that's actually the list, and that's basically some of the fan fiction. So I thought that was really cool. And there's more in here. Just see if I can quickly get to
Yeah, scan
the
that in
section
because
with
you can't
Galactica.
find those. So I wonder if you can get in trouble for scanning that in. I don't know.
Oh, these don't these this doesn't
Crack it,
exist. This company doesn't exist anymore. It says slim pickings for Galactica collectors at the 15-year reunion.
dude. I
So
people back me up on this. You know how many times? Oops, I'm frozen. There we go.
Okay,
Pete will
so
back me up on this because every time we go to a con, I look for some Battlestar Galactica stuff, and I don't know about anybody else. It's frustrating. There's nothing out there. So what do you got there, Pete?
So I have
And
June
Lockhart.
Lockhart, and I have and Richard Hatch as well.
Richard Hatch is there.
So
Yep.
yeah. So
And one of our lucky people out there got a signed Richard Hatch
and Jack Stoffer.
Jock Stoffer because
Yeah.
Jack gave that to us to give out to the fans, and we gave that out to the fans.
I met the three at WinterCon in New York. I did not get. I spoke to them. I got pictures of them. I did not get their autograph because we were working on AllCon, and it never happened. It got canceled. But we were involved with Jack Stoffer. We were involved with the Battlestar fan club. We were going to be putting on a panel. We were going to do scavenger hunt. We were doing all kinds of stuff.
Jack Stoffer's Broadway show that we're going to do.
Yes.
I mean, reminds me, we got to get Jack on here again. I want to do a special with Jack in regards to the Second Coming. I think it really gives us a clue on that. And Pete's got cool stuff. These are from Brazil.
No, they're from Argentina.
Argentina. Oh, it's close enough.
No,
I was going down the list. A, B,
don't be
C.
the ugly American
Next will be
that
Chile. Then will be Denmark.
Yes. So the Cylon Commander is actually, gold or brass. He's golding, and these Cylons.
And where did you get these?
I got these on at eBay. I got them on eBay.
Yep.
On eBay. I don't know if there's any left, guys, but there was a special. There was a special.
Like I said, it'll look good on my denim jacket.
Yes, the denim jacket that should have what is it? The Toucan sisters.
Tucana sisters.
The Tucana sisters. Yes, on the back, like cut out of like their shirt from their tour. So you have to have that on the back, and then the Cylon Commander pin.
I would go to I would. The only people who would appreciate that is probably if I went to. And it's been so tough. And like we were just saying, I was going to say a minute ago. Every time we go to a con, Pete, whether we're together or apart or whatever else, we're looking for stuff that's Battlestar Galactica related, and you can't find it. That's right. There's your Cubit again.
Yep.
And we're looking for the G still.
And we're looking for the L's.
The L's.
Looking for the L's, yeah. Certificate of Authenticity. Ta-da! I looked it up. This is from the original auction. I looked it up, and yes, in fact, this is one of X number, I think it was 35 that were sold as a lot, and then they were broken down, and so I got one. This is screen used. Very proud of that. And so I believe that we have Admiral Bran Stimpson somewhere in the universe. He's in the galaxy somewhere.
He's in the galaxy somewhere. He's probably hanging out with that amazing TV show that or that amazing movie that we've all seen, which was Sector 31 or 51 or Section 21 30, or 00 is what it should have been. I don't see him online yet, so just
I'll tell you this. Let's talk about this a little bit. You reached out to the company that has just released a special edition Battlestar Galactica laser.
Yep. So a lot of people, and I agree. So Battlestar Galactica laser, and we actually reached out to the company. They actually own the IP now. We're going to have them on next week.
License. They own the license.
Yeah, the license. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yep.
They own the license to Battlestar Galactica original.
Yeah.
And they pushed out this, the blaster, which is amazing. A lot of people are like, yes, I can 3D print this, or I can do whatever else. And I totally agree. I'm not telling you to spend your money on spend the $500 on a limited edition blaster. The things that you have to look at, I believe, on this is, if you remember the helmets from EFX, I believe they were signed by Richard Hatch, and they had the thing. I think when you start looking at collectability, sure, you can build one for cosplay and everything else, but when you start looking at collectability, I think this is gonna be something that's pretty majorly collectible in the near future. They're limited numbers. I don't know. I don't remember what the number is off the top of my head. But also, we're gonna have him on next week. Maybe he can give us a discount code. I'm hoping for that. I've been pushing for that a little bit. But they are going to talk about their other properties that they own. But they're also going to talk about plans for more Battlestar Galactica stuff.
Ooh.
This isn't the only Battlestar Galactica piece that they're looking to do. I don't know if they'll leak out anything new. I'm not sure if they will be able to do that or not. But I know they do have plans. I've been emailing back and forth with them, with Factory Entertainment. And they do have plans to do more Battlestar Galactica stuff, which I think is very important to keeping the fandom alive.
Yeah,
If somebody has to own something like this, these people spent money to get this license,
Yes.
so they can produce products
Yes.
to make money. Don't get me wrong; they're in it for.
Well, it's a business.
It's a business,
It's
yeah.
a business. It's a
It's-
collectible.
oh, it's
like there's,
business.
You know,
Hey,
Star Trek or Star
yeah.
Wars or whatever, right?
It's a business, so
Yeah.
they're looking to make a little money off of the license, and of course they have to because they spent money for the license. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying go buy this blaster, but I do. Reading the description, it's a metal barrel. It is sound effects on it, and if you have a, I have a or had a, I think we used it in the movie and it got broken. Shocker.
Yeah, it did. It was
one of the three that got broken in the movie.
Yeah, well, that's right.
You just put the thing down and it got broke.
Yeah.
So the other ones that you look at, even the ones that have been quote unquote cast off the original original ones, the blaster, the end of the blaster is oval. It's not even circular. So these guys went in and fixed all of that stuff to make it a real what it would look like, what the real Envision would look like. So I'm looking to buy one, but right now I'm looking to buy a video card for the
So you can
Beast.
finish editing the Stranded Warriors.
So I can finish editing the Stranded Warriors. So
there's choices
I have to
be
watch.
made.
Choices
Yes.
to be made. But if I had the money, I'd be buying that because I know it'll end up just like these the helmets. I mean, if you want to buy one of you want to buy one of the helmets
Absolutely.
from
Yep.
what used to be EFX, I think is what
Yes.
they sold them.
EFX. That's right. Yeah.
That thing goes for $3,000 to $4,000.
Yes.
And the original
right.
price was about $500. So,
Well, I
for
know.
collectability, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a really nice piece. Once again, we're not paid, or I'm not making money for Factory Entertainment or anything else. I'm really happy that somebody was out there and actually put money behind the licensing and got something to put out, because we have been disappointed in the past in regards to what was the company? I can't remember the name. They came out and we had them online. We had them on the show, and they had the license at one point in time. I do not remember the name, and I'm not saying bad mouth or anything else, because you make decisions based on what you can make money on.
Yep.
They were supposed to do some Battlestar stuff, and if I remember correctly, they never came out with anything. They had mentioned some things they wanted to do. They wanted to do a miniature
Yes.
a miniature
That's
Cylon.
right. We had him on the show.
We had him on the show.
Yep, had him on the show.
And it never came to fruition. I'm guessing that license expired. And Factory Entertainment picked it up. And Factory Entertainment has produced something, which right now, I mean, who out there in Toyland or whatever else is producing anything?
Official. Right, we're
Battlestar
talking
Galactica.
official. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So
Nobody.
I give them kudos for that. Once again, like I said, they're not paying me money. We don't get any money for this program. Once again, this program is totally not for profit. If we get any money, it goes back into the stuff that we use to make the program.
That's right.
Which is a lot, by the way. But we won't go there. So I do
By the way,
appreciate. Yep.
Fran, superfan Fran, commented because she was in, I believe, what Fran had come on. We discussed this. She'd
Hmm.
been involved with the reunions for Battlestar
That's right.
Galactica,
That's right.
and yep, she
She
just
was
said,
she was the one that actually got to interview Calicos.
yeah. So
She
the
sat with
dealers,
Calicos and yeah.
yeah, the dealer's room at the 15th reunion was not secured at night, and a lot of the stuff was stolen overnight, which is very
What?
sad. Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
That's sad.
yeah. The other thing is, let's see, there was I saw Deg put up a cool comment. Chris Laskowski also mentioned about, hey, collectibles.
Yeah.
If you want
Collectibles are
one,
collectibles.
you
Yeah.
can afford it. You knock yourself out,
Yeah.
right?
I
Just
mean,
like the expensive Star Wars or Star
yeah.
Trek stuff, right?
I have all
Um,
of the Battlestar Galactica stuff from oh, it was Eagle Moss that got sold
yeah,
off to
yeah,
it's now what at Masters, Model Masters.
yeah. They picked it up. Yeah.
Somebody
Oh,
new picked it up.
Cylon sword. Now that would be
Oh,
cool.
I want
That.
I told Baz to make one for me, but Baz was
Oh
like
my
that
gosh.
shipping on that alone would be.
Oh, wonder how much a license costs. Lola, it's
Yeah,
it's
that'll be a
it's a
question for
lot.
next week. I
It's
mean,
a
we can
lot.
ask
I
them
don't
next week.
believe they're
Yeah.
going to really get into it, but
They
from
won't
what
tell us the
we've
cost
gathered,
because yeah.
yeah, from what we've gathered, there is to get the license, there's a lot of money that has to go up front, but before they give it to you,
But don't you have
uh,
to guarantee a
yes, you
yeah?
have to guarantee that there will be X number of sales so that
Vitron.
they can get, like, because they got to get their royalty. If they're not going to get anything or they don't expect
Mm,
the sales, and you have to show them demographics, um who they're selling to, what's out there. And if they don't approve it because they're not going to
right.
make money, they're not going to give you the license for it.
Which is
And it's,
wild because you would think
yeah.
they wouldn't that they wouldn't care. I mean, why would I give a crap if you make money on it? You're going to pay me money to use the thing. So why would I care as the actual license holder? Let's say Universal, for instance. Excuse me for a second.
Oh, wow. Deg said, for what it's
Pardon
worth,
me.
it's very reasonably priced, actually, especially these days. $500 is well worth it. I paid $500 for for my factory Kirby Mjolnir 15 years ago. Ooh, oh, that must be
Wow.
cool. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I vaguely remember when that came out. Got Cast Resin Season 2 Reimagined Pistol, Erica says. That's interesting. Oh, yeah. Eric, I believe I saw your post on Facebook.
Hmm.
I think you posted pictures of it. So that's really,
Yeah.
really cool. I saw those.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the fan, who
yeah.
look, like everything else, whether if you're into it, you
Yeah.
collect it,
I mean,
and
yeah.
it's not everybody,
Not
and we're not
everybody. Yeah.
pushing it, right? We're not
Yeah.
pushing it.
Right.
So
I do want to
Admiral
mention. Go ahead.
Stimpson's here,
He
and I
is. Oh,
want,
there he
yes,
is.
he
Yep,
is.
he is here.
He is absolutely here in uniform, ready to
Darn, because
go.
I wanted to
And
talk about
don't
that.
bring up that
I want
31, whatever you do, don't bring it up.
no that one. I was going to talk about
Don't. Okay.
the post we had that the Katie Sackhoff
Yep.
show, and Ron Moore had talked about his quote unquote original. Well, maybe we'll have time later. We'll try to make time to talk about that.
Deg's watching The Gun on Ice Planet Zero
Oh
Part
my
2,
gosh,
man.
what a
That's
great
my
one of the
those
three
are my
that was
favorite.
supposed
Yeah,
to
that's
be
one of my
the three
favorites, man.
on
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
supposed to be the movies that,
Yeah,
and if you
that's
watch the books are in the right order.
yeah, that's one of my
Book
favorites.
number one
But,
was Battlestar Galactica. Book number two.
all right, bring
All
up
right,
the
sorry.
Admiral. I need to speak
I
to
know,
the
I know, I
Admiral.
know. We'll get Admiral. Hang on, I got to put him on
Beam
the
him
right
on board,
channel.
will you please? I want to
Beam
hear
him on
all.
board. Wait a minute, we don't
I
beam in Battlestar.
Well, for
We'll
this
shuttle
segment,
him over.
We'll shuttle him over. All right, all right. God, stickler, man. Yeah.
Let's see. There he is. Let's see if we got the audio going. Check, check. 1, 2.
Oh,
Oh, what?
Hello, hello.
Hello,
yes.
hello.
Okay, rock and roll.
Hello there.
Ah, there he
Hello
is.
there.
Welcome
Ooh,
back.
look at the
Bran. It's been a while.
background. I see. Fancy.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at you.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Which uniform is this?
Well, this is probably the closest thing to Star Trek pajamas ever made. This is from the original motion picture, the Admiral Kirk. I can't really stand up to show you because the way the camera works, but it's got the pin. It's got the little bio thing. It's from the motion picture.
Cool.
I
It was
like
an
the
easy
motion
one to
picture.
throw
It
on
was wild.
as I came running in the door.
It looks good
Actually,
on
I
you know
think-
from
Right.
on this end it looks good.
I think Star Trek can finally say, I mean, a lot of people poo-pooed all over the original motion picture, but I think you can finally say there's something worse.
No, what do you? I don't know what you're talking about, Tipsy. No, I don't know. Are you talking about Star Trek 5? No,
I think
are you
somebody
talking
can
about?
say there's something worse.
Oh, you went there.
Uh,
Okay.
Even
yeah.
even the one with the whales in it was still better than. Never
Oh,
mind.
Hey,
come
that's
on.
actually like
That's a
considered
great
in
one.
some circles the best
Yeah.
Star Trek movie. The one with
Oh
the
wow!
whales. But
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I know we're talking about Section 31, and I know
51,
that
31, 21.
I think it
double odd.
crashed pretty hard.
Oh.
Yep.
But I think there's some leeway that can be given with that when you think about it. For instance, it was supposed to be a TV show that turned into a movie that turned into a required 90-minute movie.
Ugh.
So you cut out any development of characters that made you care about it. I think that was the big
No
problem.
kidding.
I mean, there are some great actors in there. I think there were some great characters in there,
It's horrible
but
writing.
it just fell short. It was like, let's take 12 different ideas and try to put it together. And I don't know why we do that in Star Trek all the time, and it just doesn't work. And we keep trying to do it. I think the whole thing was driven. I know the whole thing was driven by Michelle. She's wanted to do this in season 1 of Disco, but obviously winning that award, you know, and making her obviously much more profitable in her world. But I'm still glad it happened. I think there was potential there. It's not the best received thing, but I think just like Disco wasn't the best Star Trek in the beginning, it got better as it went along. So hopefully.
Right.
If the powers that be decide to make more of either Section 31 movies or these kind of TV movies in general, that this will be a starting point and we can just go up from here and we can pretend that we forget about it and don't pay attention to it.
It never existed. It's like it's your
just as a-
Galactica 1980.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly.
exactly,
What it is. Yeah.
But wait,
That's right.
I want my flying motorcycle. I want my flying motorcycle.
Bran, I got to tell you, Fran says Galaxy Quest was the best Star Trek movie.
Oh,
I mean,
damn.
Galaxy Quest is a
Wow.
great Star Trek movie.
Somebody shanked you in the
Orville
hallway
is
there.
a fantastic Star Trek show. But you know, I mean, Section 31 fell short. I'm glad they tried it. I think it was worth the effort.
Oh yeah.
I think the story could have been better. I think it could have been explained better. There's some giant, massive holes in it that make no sense, but it's Star Trek, and we do that all the time. So
This is true.
hopefully soon we'll get Strange New Worlds back, and we'll get good Star Trek
Yay!
back. And
I love
we can
Strange New Worlds.
brush this under the rug and vacuum it up someday.
Yeah.
And
If you
Sort of
haven't
way.
had a chance, I don't know if you had a chance, but the Strange New Worlds audiobooks or books are really good. I haven't listened to one. I almost read one. I don't read. I don't have time. Pete's got time for reading.
Yeah.
I don't have time for reading.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
I've listened
I have
to all
the
of them.
books. I have all the books. Well, most of the Discovery and Section and Strange New Worlds books, but
Yeah.
I
The
don't think
Strange
I've
New
read a
Worlds-
book since Picard season 1.
Yeah,
I think
the
that's the
Strange
last
New
book
Worlds
I read.
audiobooks are amazing. They're really good. They're very well written and very well imagined. So it's one of those book listens that if you haven't had a chance, you need to do it. Go on Audible, and I think we need to get an Audible thing where we can money off them, but we can't. But anyways,
Get an affiliate link for Audible.
yeah, we don't
there
have
you
an
go.
affiliate link for that. But anyways, I do recommend those. They're pretty good.
That's great.
I just picked up the newest one. I haven't listened to that one yet, but there's a new one out. So
Yeah, I mean the whole beta world has got some really good stories in it. I'm not huge into the books. Again, I don't have time to read. I barely have
Pete
time
will
to
read them
read
for you
on
because
one.
he's got so
Yes,
much time.
I will read them for you.
There you go.
Yes.
And then you can
there
send
go.
us a report.
he'll
like it's
AI
sort of
summarize
in the
them for you,
newsletter
too.
and everything. We can do all that stuff. You know, we can make you the official book reader. We actually have a book club on the chapter too.
What?
Oh, that's for
really?
That's
That's
for Tipsy.
different.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we
nominated
do.
Tipsy. He's going to be secretary for that.
Yeah, we do. We meet monthly on the first Wednesday. Currently, actually, come to think of it, I'm wearing the uniform. Wasn't intentional. But they're going over the book version of the original motion picture.
Oh, cool.
As written by Gene.
Yep.
And
Which I read.
there's some kind of strange stuff in there that's not in the movie.
Yes.
So if you
Yeah,
think the movie
that sounds a lot like Battlestar. I mean, Battlestar.
you should
had-
read that book.
Yeah,
Yeah, they talk
Battlestar
about
had
how
so much difference.
the Mediterranean basin has been, cleared out, and you actually can see all the ruins and things because there's been all kinds of changes done to Earth's, atmosphere, whatever. So there's a whole bunch of cool different things that go on in the book.
See,
yeah.
it sounds like
Yeah.
Pete's already part of that book club.
Oh, I read it. I read it when it came out, when it was originally released. I actually read the book. There's a couple of things that, always stay with you.
I'll have to
But,
find it in PDF, drop it into Google Sheet or Google Notebook, and
have it
quiz
read to you.
I tell you, if you can get those books and drop them into a Google Notebook, you can quiz it all day long or have it to yeah.
No,
By
in
the
the
way-
motion picture book, they actually supposedly implant something in the admirals and captains so they can send you messages and you see them. So you're like, I don't know. I'm not reading it. I on the book club, because part of the chapter. So I joined the chat, and these guys that have read it or listened to it, because we do both, we're talking about this like Kirk's on vacation somewhere and they send him this message into his mind that he sees V'ger and the whole Klingon battle with it in the beginning. And I'm like, that's a little weird, even for Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, Gene, what were you on, buddy?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of funny. So, but there is, new stuff coming. I mean, there's always comics and books. Obviously, we're just talking about that, but we do have 2 seasons of Strange New Worlds that should be coming to us someday. Still not announced when we're going to see the new seasons, but it's kind of dragging out here. I kind of assumed that at the beginning of the year, they were giving Section 31 some time to breathe.
People to forget about it.
People to forget. Oh, now it's to drink. I mean, honestly, you gotta. There's some good stuff in there. There's some interesting stuff. There's some good premises. I think if this was like a pilot, not even a pilot, but an idea film, right? That we want to do this kind of thing. That maybe it had some gumption, but I try to be positive about it much about Star Trek.
There are some positives about it, but
yeah, there's always
positively
positives,
hate it.
right? You can do that. But okay. But we have the 2 new seasons of Strange New Worlds lurking out there. We have. I was going to say what the next thing is. Oh my God, my brain went dead. Oh, we have rumors. That's what we have. Shatner dropped a rumor bomb about a month ago now. Since it's been 6 months since I've seen you guys.
Hasn't been that long.
That he's coming back to Star Trek in some sort of role. So there's.
You said somebody offered him more money. That's what you said.
Well, that's probably what it was. I think that's probably what it was. So the question is, will that be in the new Academy series that just finished filming? Will that be in Strange New Worlds and some sort of time travel thing? That's the most recent rumor I heard. That we might get Paul Wesley playing Kirk and Shatner playing Kirk at the same time.
Ooh,
I don't know how I feel about any of this. I mean, Bill is 210 now, 95 just now, I think.
Yeah.
Getting up there.
More power to him. That's
Absolutely. I mean, he's not stopping. I mean, he's doing the convention circuit. He's coming here in Denver for Fan Expo Denver in July, for the 3rd time. He's going to Vegas for the Vegas Star Trek Las Vegas convention. So he's busy. I mean, he's definitely not somebody sitting around in his chair just waiting to pass out. There's my website without the video. I hate when that doesn't play all the time.
There it is.
Yeah, I know. It just goes away. It's supposed to loop, and it never loops. But then also on the cruise that just happened, Kate Mulgrew dropped a very similar bomb that she is also returning to live action Star Trek.
Ooh,
that's cool.
So again, where is this going to fall? Is this going to be over the Academy as some sort of video, hologram or video that's in the Academy, or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're doing that anthology series that was rumored millennia ago, where there's going to be a little one-off stories with all the main characters and bring them all back for some reason. I don't have any idea. There's there's a whole bunch of news about that Star Trek Con audio book podcast show thing. That what, I just forgot his name, directed Star Trek 2. I can see his face. Yep, blanked out. That's what happens when I do a podcast at the end of the day. The guy that directed Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6 and helped write Star Trek 4.
Alexa.
Oh my, Nick Myers. Is that Nick Myers? No. Somebody
Sounds
tell me.
right.
It does. I'm sure somebody in the chat will let me know how bad I am, so let me know. But he's doing this con audio cast. They announced some of the actors or some of the voice actors that are doing it for Khan and for
You keep saying Khan,
Khan's
so I
wife.
think Khan. The Wrath of Khan.
That's the Khan I'm talking about, the Wrath of
Okay.
Khan, yes.
Making sure.
The Wrath of Khan.
Not
Tipsy,
the
calm
Khan,
down.
Khan. Not
Not the convention Khan.
Not the convention
the
Khan.
actual Khan.
Wrath of Khan.
SETI Alpha 6 or 5, because we don't know when a planet got blown up in the universe, because we're Starfleet and we can't see a missing
Count.
planet. Yeah, well, we're not a toaster, so we can't count.
Yeah, well, someday. You can be Borg, maybe.
Maybe. Well, we'll have the dots do it. We'll have the dots do it. But I mean, there's always stuff in the Star Trek world. It never ceases to stop. There's a convention like almost every weekend, right, with
Is it
some
Nick
news
Mayer?
coming out.
Yeah.
So
Nick Mayer.
is that Nicholas Meyer? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Meyer.
guess I got that right. Wow,
Yeah, thanks,
look
Nick.
at that. I pulled that out of wherever I pulled it from. So thank God for that.
We don't know.
Feel
where to
pretty
go.
bad because Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6 are my favorite Star Trek movies, and I can't remember who directed them. That's great. Yeah, so I mean, things in the Tiburon. We are now celebrating our 20th year. Years of being here in Colorado and celebrating Star Trek and doing all the crazy, wacky stuff that we're doing. Wow, I really need to update this website. Thanks, Tipsy.
Nothing like stabbing you in the back while we're.
Yeah. Thanks.
Come
I
on,
feel the
come on.
Cylon
We'll
in
just
you right
show
now.
you how bad you are.
Yeah. I feel the Cylon right now. I feel the love between Galactica and Star Trek. Let's just point out the fact that the Enterprise could probably beat the Galactica's butt.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Well, we have shields. Let's just start with that.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So anyway, 20th anniversary. We're in the midst of making our tribbles.
Yes.
We picked our charity for this
What
year.
colors do you have this year?
We have the normal colors, so we
No
kind of
special
stick
color
to.
this year?
Well, we do actually have a 20th anniversary special color, and unfortunately, we have become very good at selling the tribbles. We had our first show a couple of weeks ago when we sold the 20 or 30. Because we are stupid. And so the first weekend in April, we're here at the Arapahoe County Fairgrounds at the All Seas Collectors Expo, which is a first-time show for us. The second weekend, we're at Wicked West Comic Expo that's up north in Loveland. That's like our fourth year there. It's a great little family convention. And then the last Sunday of April, we're actually down in Pueblo at Pueblo Minicon Reloaded, which is the second year for them. And they're expanding quite significantly from the first year. So it should be a great show. But 3 shows, which are a total of, 2, 4, 5.5 days technically, of shows and uniforms and conventions and tribble selling. But the 20th anniversary tribble is a blue with like white silver flecks in it. That's a limited edition tribble. We're only going to make it this year. We have our normal pink cotton candies, kind of like this guy over here. I don't think we have any white this year, so he's kind of old. But we have the Kirk toupee, as we call them caramel, but somebody calls them the Kirk toupee. So just the tan colors like you saw in D Space Nine and original series, and some fun colors. I think we have a big old Grinch this year.
And all this goes for.
We are doing this year. We are doing Soul Dog Rescue. That's SOUL. And they are a pet rescue that's here in Colorado. They're a non-kill shelter. They started out on the Native American lands that were here and helping them with their pets and have expanded. So they are a no-kill shelter here for dogs and cats.
Cool.
Also have some horses, I understand. And they're in need of some help, so that's what we decided to go with them, and we'll have literature at our booth for them, and we've already raised, if I could do math really quick, I could tell you. To raising money for our charity this year, which
Your
I
phone's
have to put
there
up on the
for a
website
second.
as
Can
well.
you step back just a second? How much have you raised?
Okay. Now you're gonna make me do math.
I'm sorry.
That's
I
mean.
noticed we froze up, so I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, gotcha. Let me do math. Hold on. We can do math. Look at this. We're doing math right now, live on camera here. $125, a little bit less than I thought, because we only had like 21 tribbles, I think, at the first show. So we're already at $125 for them. And then, like I said, we got 3 more shows in April, which I'm sure we'll double that without a problem in the first show.
How do I go
probably.
about getting a special edition tribble?
Right now, as you can tell, the store is down on the website due to
Yes,
some
I
issues.
noticed.
But if you come to a show here in Colorado, so fly from New York to here just for a tribble, I'm sure the airplane fare won't be a problem.
Pete's
we've
a
done
jet
already.
setter anyways. You just came
We've
back
done-
from London.
Well, yeah, it's
so-
true. Yeah, he
England,
just flew
yeah.
across the pond, right? So
Yeah,
you know,
so Pete's
he's got
ready to
frequent
go.
airfly miles. You could use him to come out here.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got plenty of money for that. So, and time
We've
because
done
he
that.
doesn't have a damn job. I mean, doesn't have a
We've
job.
actually done that. We went to Denver and we went to
You
the
did?
convention, and that's
Dude,
so
if I
we've
go
been
back
there.
to
We've
Denver,
done it.
I'm going back
Yeah,
to the.
you have.
If I go back to Denver, because we went to the convention there. What was the name of that place that had the Athena omelet?
I believe it was Sam's number 3 downtown.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Sam's number 3.
Yeah.
I will get
Sam's
another
number 3.
Athena
Yeah.
omelet. That was amazing.
Yep.
Oh,
They're
boy.
still there. So that's always good. I don't know if the omelet's still on the menu. But,
I'm sure it is.
They're still there. I'm sure it is too. But come to a show. You know, like I said, All Seas Collector Expo, Wicked West Comic Expo, and then Pueblo Minicon Reloaded. And then, of course, we're waiting for official word from Fan Expo in July, which I'm sure will be a yes. I'm hoping it's a yes. The fingers are crossed. The toes are crossed.
July, huh?
Yeah, it's July 4th weekend. For some reason, Fan Expo likes that weekend. Well, I think actually
It's a
still
tough
we're on
one.
the
But
Denver Comic Con
maybe I'll try to
weekend.
get out there.
I mean, it's a tough weekend because families want to go out and spend time.
December is not a hard. I mean, December. I'm sorry. Denver is not a hard flight.
No,
I mean,
no, it's not too
it's
bad.
pretty cheap,
It's a
yeah.
good little airport. I mean, it is like 200 miles away from everything, but that's designed that way.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. And July 4th isn't. I wouldn't say the best weekend for a convention. I actually liked it when it was on Father's Day. But it's 4 days, so it's Thursday, Friday, July 4th, Saturday, and Sunday. They've started announcing guests. We have Shatner, as I mentioned. Jason Isaacs was announced today, so that'll be kind of cool. I haven't seen him. So it'd be cool to talk to Disco with him. But that's the only 2 Star Trek people.
Huh.
None of your Battlestar Galactica people yet. So you know,
It is sad. I mean, we looked at looking at all of the conventions that are out there. Very few, even 2004, Battlestar Galactica people are going to conventions. So
well, I know they just had a big Galactica convention on the East Coast,
Yes.
didn't they? With everybody at that.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yep.
And I know Katie's doing tons of conventions,
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's
'cause
more
that's-
Star Wars
yeah,
side
Star
than
Wars, yeah.
Galactica
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Well,
But still, I'm
hey,
sure she gets
yeah.
her Battlestar questions.
Yep.
And I know she wants to be in Star Trek, actually. She's come out on her podcast and said she wants to be in Star Trek. I mean, that would be like the trifecta of sci-fi, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
By the way, Bran, James McCoy says hello from Region 1.
Hey, James, from Region
Yes.
17.
Yes. So hey, look, don't be a stranger. I know that Thursdays there's a conflict between work and the other things that you do, including
yeah,
your
unlike
Star
Pete, you
Trek,
actually have a job. So
yeah. I mean, goals.
Wow.
Bran,
Wow.
you gotta have goals, and there's something to be said for a little bit of jelly, and it's getting into Tipsy's workings, his
leaking
brains.
in,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you gotta just use some silicone on those seams on his shell. It might help keep it
Yeah.
out.
it's just
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
more dark alcohol will work better.
Yeah.
probably.
But
Oh, that's what it is. Whatever you want to call it, whatever we're calling it.
Exactly, Brad. We always a good time when you come on. We enjoy, doing the Star Trek updates. And what's cool about, just having a little bit of banter, taking it all in stride is always good and bad, especially a franchise that's been around, 58 going on 59 years.
Yep.
It's inevitable you're gonna have ups and downs.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
luckily, right, there's enough great stuff that you can just hang on to and look forward to, and so hey, we take it all in stride. Thanks for
Absolutely.
being a good sport. And we want you to, as you can, pop in a little more often. We always love having
Oh,
you here on
absolutely.
IFB.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
hopefully
think it's
things calm down with work so I can my Thursdays won't be quite so crazy. I moved some stuff around. We used to have a chapter event every third Thursday
Yeah.
or something, and I moved that to Wednesday.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can work
appreciate
that out. And also, I know we're knocking on Section 31 because it's easy, but you do know when it first came out, it was in the Nielsen's top 10 for streaming shows for the first couple of weeks it was out. So
really
that can't be all bad. Everybody watched it anyway.
Everybody wanted
once.
to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, how do we?
Well, again.
For those people who are interested, how do we go about joining Starfleet?
Well, you can either go to the bottom of our website if you're here in the Colorado area. We go. There's a join link. Oh, you passed it. You flew right past it. I see the red button.
There it is.
You could join right there, and it takes you over to the stuff. Say you don't have an SEC number, and you move into the process. It's $10 a year for a single person. Pete, by the way, you need to renew.
Hint, hint, hint.
Hint. 14 for two. It goes up to 6 members. There are chapters all over the place, 250 some odd around the world, and every chapter does something different. I'm sure James's chapter does crazy things there on the East Coast. I know for a fact they do, as a matter of fact. We do stuff constantly, 3 conventions in a month. If you are local and you want to come out and watch some dead people play with tribbles, come out to any of those conventions because 3 days is insane. 3 conventions in a month is insane. But we'll see. It's not the full display either. I should make that comment. Right. We have that big display that you guys came out and saw at Fan
That
Expo.
was amazing. Yeah.
That'll be at Wicked West and Fan Expo. And then the smaller conventions, mini cons, as most of them are, have a smaller kind of some of the stuff, the tribbles and some stuff. And then Fort Collins, which is in August, and then Pueblo actually will have one of our photo ops. For instance, the Borg Alcove will be going to Pueblo. So come out and get recharged. Visit us, take photos. But we're glad to see you guys. If you ever have questions, sfi.org is Starfleet's website. Lots of information there, even a chapter finder, so you can put in what city you're in and find out what's closest. And if there's not one there, we always have ways for you to start one. There are chapters literally everywhere.
And you help people costuming as well?
We have actually, so we have what's called the Starfleet Auxiliary Groups. One of those is a costuming group that talks about where to get costumes. I actually just got a costume in the mail yesterday that's not quite complete, but it's a costume I've been waiting 40 years to own.
No way. Wow. What is it?
And I finally spent the $1,000 some odd to get it. Anybody who knows about Star Trek costumes knows which
dude,
one
I know
that
where
is
you're
now.
at because I bought a Cylon. So
The
I know where you're
Monster
at.
Maroon.
The Monster Maroon. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, I finally got one. The jacket came in the mail yesterday. I was playing with it. I was wearing it. It is hot.
Do you have do you like do a review? Is it
I
on
could.
your... Okay, that would be great. Yeah.
I haven't done one yet. I actually thought about doing an unboxing, but I was kind of nervous.
Your unboxing's like, no, I'm not waiting.
Yeah, well, that was part of it. The other part was like it's supposed to have pants and some other parts, and I didn't realize it wasn't all coming at once. So I was like, oh, and it came really fast. I mean, I ordered this from a guy off Etsy in Taiwan who a lot of people have used. I don't remember his name. I feel a Starbase 365, I want to say, was the Etsy store. His name is Kevin. I remember that part. But yeah, so it's out hanging up, kind of airing out. It's really hot. and it fit really kind of good.
Well,
So
well, you're in Denver, so it could be nice and warm in the winter time.
it is 80 right now. I don't know if you can see it, but
Crap.
I'm dying in these lights.
It's hotter there than it is here.
Yeah, it is 80 today. I mean, it's supposed to snow tomorrow night, so I mean that won't last very long. So
You don't like the
but that's Colorado for you. So the good thing here though is when it snows, unlike New York, where it's going to be around for a few weeks, it's gone like 24 hours later. So that's the best part about it. I mean, that stuff melts out here pretty
if you
quick.
don't like
so.
the weather in Colorado, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah, drive 10 feet and it's probably different. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Bran, while you were chatting it up with the Tipsy Toaster, I went ahead and took care of my annual dues. So
Oh, there we go.
I am
job,
in good
Pete.
standing, and so
We know how
thank you
difficult that
for-
is on a retiree's salary.
That's correct. I'm on a fixed salary. That's what that's called, there, buddy. And so we should make that into a drinking game because this is like the sixth
Yeah.
time he brought it up. So
I think we'd all be slammed right now because I think it's been 6 times in 5 minutes. But I just admit I'm jealous because that means Pete sits at home with his feet up on his recliner all day.
That's all
while
that
I'm
Pete
arguing
does.
with
Yeah.
customers at work.
Pete
So,
does
I
not
don't
go
think
like
that's a bad
traveling the
thing.
world or anything like
Yeah.
that. He sits
He was
there
at
and does
Stonehenge
nothing.
a week ago,
Yeah.
and I was here in Colorado, so I think Tipsy's jealous more.
look, there's on one scale is all the conventions, or I went to England. I don't know. It's just there's that.
I see how it is.
I mean, I did spend $1,000 on just a jacket for a uniform. So
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
no, that it is what it is, man.
it is.
There's
And
no
42 years. Wrathacon came out in June.
no,
So
Really?
no,
No.
Yeah,
judgment.
it's,
No.
No judgment.
82,
Oh.
isn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
think it's 82.
please stop. I feel old.
Yep.
Pete,
Yeah,
Pete should feel ancient, but I just feel old.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
turn to
exactly.
dust. How's
Because
that?
I'm like 2 years older than Tipsy Toaster. So
At 200, something
That's
like
a
that,
millennia, man. That's huge.
exactly. 200, somewhere in there.
Brad,
Yeah,
thank you.
200. There's just a zero and a
So,
decimal
yeah,
point. We're moving
Bran,
around.
is there any way we can donate to your charities on your website at all, or is it just
Not yet. I need to get the store back up. We had some problems with our WooCommerce, and so I had to take it down. I got to get it back up.
yeah, well, let us know when you
But
do.
absolutely, we'll get some tribbles up
we'll
there.
share it, yeah.
Because
I need a 25th. Or was it 25th anniversary?
20th.
anniversary.
I haven't been doing this for 25. Well, I've been involved with Starfleet for 30 years, but I've only been in charge of the Tiburon for 20. That's long enough.
Yep,
Wow.
that's it. A 20.
It's a
anniversary.
long time.
But that's amazing. So I have lots of Star Wars or Star Trek stuff I need to get rid of too. By the way. I
Well,
need to
we
ship
could
that out
talk.
to you.
We
Yeah, we
do
can talk
actually
later.
for the group. We do an annual auction now because we are actually also fundraising for ourselves to build Captain Kirk's original series captain's chair. We have plans and we have the way to
I
build
thought you
it.
had
so we
that.
gotta get
No,
our-
that was the Borg.
was-
The
Yeah, the
Borg.
Borg.
Yeah, the Borg out.
Yeah,
we
the
have
Borg,
we
yeah.
have a
I thought
a
you had a
7
chair,
foot tall.
but yeah.
Nope. We have a 7 foot tall Borg regeneration chamber, and we have a 9 foot tall 3-person transporter based off of D Space Nine, the USS Defiant, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I think Pete and I
based off
were
the Defiant.
in both of those in Denver. I think we.
yes, yeah.
Go back
Actually,
and
I think
find
you
those.
guys interviewed me on the alcove, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
we did.
That's right.
Maybe the transporter. I don't know which one it
No,
was.
no,
now.
it was the alcove.
It was the
yeah.
alcove. I thought it was the alcove, but
I know Pete.
that
bought
was a
I know
weird
Pete
year
bought,
because
Go ahead.
we were in the round, so we had a 365 display, which is the first time we ever did that. So it was a little nerve wracking to have to like run around all the time to make sure people weren't stealing things, I guess. But most of the time I like it on a wall, so I have a back and I have a front and it's easy. But no. But I'm gonna get the store back up so we can get the tribbles there for your listeners and
Yeah,
watchers.
let us know
and
as soon as
for
we can.
everybody else.
We'll pop those up too. We can,
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll
100%.
grab those and donate.
Appreciate it, guys.
I know Pete.
Appreciate it, guys.
Pete, you were talking about the time we were there.
Yeah.
Pete bought the coins.
Challenge coin.
The challenge
Oh yeah,
coins.
yeah.
I don't know if there's
we
gonna
actually
be any
are
of those
working
anymore.
on a new one because it's the 20th. We actually sold out of the original run of coins. I think we had 200 of them.
Wow, that's good.
And now we're going to do a 20th anniversary coin. It helps that my wife is a graphic designer, so we get cool stuff.
Ooh.
And a good
Free
price
work.
too. So yeah, free work. Yeah, that's where the cool shark logo comes from. That's actually, I think, our 10th anniversary logo there in my title.
Yeah.
That's the original
a really good
logo
one,
that we've
dude.
had for 20 years. And she's got an idea for a 20th logo, so we'll have to see what it is. But
Ooh.
Cool.
I have no idea yet, so it'll be a surprise. But we'll have a big party, I think, in September. You guys want to come out, of course, you're welcome. But kind
Thank
of a
you,
silly
sir.
reason to come out to Colorado.
Yeah.
But
Thank you for the offer. I think
Oh,
maybe Pete can because he's got nothing else to do.
well, we prefer Pete anyway because he's not a weird rust bucket Cylon that he's gonna stand there and just look like little laser eye beam. I don't know. I just heard you say you bought a Cylon costume, Tipsy? Is that the original Cylon?
Oh, yeah, he's
Yes,
got one.
I've got
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool. I bet that's nice and warm.
Oh my God! Yeah, I did it in. I always use it for Dragon Con, and that's in Atlanta,
Oh, yeah.
and that's
Yep.
in
That's
late
a mistake.
August.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to do that.
Mistake.
Yeah, big mistake. Yeah.
Bran,
Big mistake.
thank you.
Of course.
Please don't be a stranger. Like I was saying, it's the whole conflict with our other responsibilities. But
Absolutely.
please come back when you can. It's always fun. Fran says she loves watching a train wreck that we put on here, especially when we have when we're amongst friends and with everybody out there. It's our community, IFB community, and we all love sci-fi, Star Trek, Galactica, all that stuff.
Yep.
So thank you,
Even
everybody.
Star Wars.
That is correct, absolutely.
I
And we
don't know.
have,
I mean,
we
go
have
ahead.
the Empire City Garrison that comes on,
Yep.
and they do their updates every other.
And now,
so
Mr.
yeah, we
Fian,
cover
but he's now the
the director of charity,
charities, yes.
and
Oh, wow.
charity work and stuff. So here's to you, Bran,
sir.
and Star Trek. One
Pete's
of
out
our,
of Pete's lying there. He's out of Earl Grey there, I'm sure. But
I'm not
Oh, that's-
actually.
Well,
I'm not.
thank you so much, and Bran,
course,
I'll reach
guys.
out to you in regards to some large amount of Star Trek stuff I have to get rid of.
Ooh.
So
We could
maybe you can
donate
use
I'm
it to,
interested. What are we talking about?
yeah.
Yes.
so maybe get some of this stuff out of my my office and out to some people who really want it, and maybe get some money for the charity for that. So
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm more than happy to talk about it.
all right,
Thank you,
talk
Bran.
to you later. Thank you, Bran.
As
You
always,
are
guys,
amazing.
live long and
Keep doing what
prosper,
you
everybody.
do. Yep.
Peace and long life,
Fans,
Bran.
fuel the fleet, guys.
Peace
You
and
guys do
long
great
life.
work. Thank you, guys.
Pete's got
Thanks.
it all wrong. Live long and prosper. That's it.
Oh, that one too. That
Yeah.
one too. Peace and long life is the proper response.
Tipsy. Before we close out, everybody, Fran, she shared this with us. She says Dirk is going to be at a convention in Dallas in May. I believe Mr. T will be there as well. It's not a
Oh, that'd be
sci-fi
cool.
con. Saw the announcement on A-Team Facebook group. So yeah, Dirk, I think, was overseas. I think he did
Yeah,
a
he
convention.
recently. I can't remember what I saw it on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then
Listen,
there's
guys,
the
thank you.
isn't there the anniversary for BSG? They invited us to the Dallas one.
yes, they
It's
did.
not- is it all?
Yes, they did.
It wasn't all con. Is it?
No, it
it's
wasn't all
something
con.
else.
It was I don't know, Comic Palooza. It was one of the
Comic Palooza
yeah.
or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, one of those. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. We went over, but it
Yeah,
was
we
well
did went
worth
over.
it.
And I
We had
wanted
a-
to talk about some of the. Never mind. We'll talk about it next week.
What do you got? No,
I wanted to
let's
talk about the
tease it,
Katie
tease it,
Sackhoff
man.
Katie Sackhoff show in regards to the stipulation that Ron Moore put on
Yeah,
any new Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, we got to
because,
bring that up.
quote unquote.
Yeah.
He invented the human Cylon piece, which we all
No,
know
he
is
did not.
we know is incorrect.
It's totally incorrect. So
Could have gone
we'll
so
talk
much
about
farther
that.
with Galactica 1980. I understand
Yeah.
Galactica 1980 is the after-school special for Battlestar Galactica, but yeah, I think it could have gone much farther.
Yeah.
If it would have been taken seriously. So
Erica,
I'll leave it
just-
at that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Erica
we only have
confirmed.
so much time. We could be here for
BFC
hours.
25th anniversary is at Comic Palooza. Yes, and we were in IFB was invited. We were
Yes, I
sent,
wish we could make
yes,
it.
but we're not going to
Unfortunately,
be able to.
I have a job,
Um,
and Pete keeps going overseas, so he has no money to
yes,
do that part of it.
that's right.
So,
So I'm saving up for our festival circuit, hopefully
yes,
with the
we're very
Stranded
close.
Warrior
Stranded
and
Warrior,
with the
we're very
Terror
close.
Protocol Resurrection. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays. But thanks for watching, guys. Had a tremendous show today. Great guests, great spots. And so here's to all of you.
Yeah, you are
Fans
amazing.
fuel the
Keep doing
fleet.
what you're doing. We'll see you next Thursday. Same bat channel, same bat place. Start liking us more on YouTube
YouTube.
than on Facebook, because Facebook is stopping our live videos. So, and that's stopping. It's not the right word. They're
Well, they're
deleting.
taking down our
Yeah.
archive.
Started
Yeah.
archive. So it's kind of hard for us. So
Yeah.
if you would just reach out to YouTube and check the checkbox of follow and like,
Yeah,
we'd
please.
appreciate it. And until next week, when we get back into transmission range, we will see you next week. And thank you so much for doing what you do. And the fans are the best. That keeps this thing going.
Yep.
So, fans feel the fleet. We'll see you next week, and take care.
Take care.